Oh, police! Come to the door. You come to no harm. Shots fired.
Crime never sleeps.
Taser, I think.
But neither
Stand still.
do the cops. Battling on the front line
Taser! Taser!
are Nottinghamshire's finest.
Stand by for impact.
Highly trained pursuit drivers, specialists in entry and search,
4 ounces of cannabis.
rapid response firearms officers,
On police! Show yourself now!
Police with a dog, stop!
and the crime-stopping force
Look at my arm!
of the dog unit.
Get down on the floor!
Wherever the battle takes them, they'll never back down.
Taser!
Because come at the hour,
Yeah, Bass, we've still got him. Up on the back wheel, offside of the road.
come at the Interceptors.
Where are you from? Leeds. Leeds. Don't come to Nottingham again, will you?
Coming up,
I know he's gone over the tank trap. Stand by.
a bumpy ride as the team brace for a decamp.
Stand by. We're running.
An organised sting to stop a suspected drink driver.
How much have you actually had to drink?
I've had a couple.
And not one,
I can't believe how far behind the motorbike's gone.
but 2 bikers caused mayhem on the roads.
Stop it. Let it stop. It's not very big, but...
It's a cold, wet winter's night. While most of Nottinghamshire's 1.1 million residents are tucked up in bed, north of Nottingham,
Top truck 2-3, we've got a vehicle failing to stop.
a runaway golf driver is about to cause a nightmare on the roads.
Reason for stop, vehicle's being driven slightly rapidly, suspected maybe a drink driver.
Quickly escalating from slightly erratic, the suspected drink driver is barreling through a residential area at 50 miles an hour.
Straight through red 88, temporarily high risk.
Flying through reds, they seem hell-bent on escaping the law. On wet roads, stopping distances are thought to double.
Up to 1, we're now doing 4-0 and a 3-0. Increasing over to 5-0.
But with the winter rain hammering down, this driver continues putting pedal to the metal. Thankfully, at 3:30 in the morning, the roads are empty as the driver tears through streets at well over 70 miles per hour. In the suburbs, packed with playing fields and alleyways, it's a decamper's dream.
We are now at Phillistick Road, generally back towards Arnold, I think.
Other units are aiming to get ahead with a stinger.
08639, we are Arnold with Stinger, pull up to Stinger side.
And dog handler Mark is also trying to catch up, along with his trusty canine Morse.
Continuing now to Birchfield Road, speed is 65.
However, time could be running out.
Wrong side of the road, medium risk, still no other road users or pedestrians.
The lead car is still locked on target.
Continuing on Birchfield Road, speed is now 40.
But the golf driver's reaching the end of the road.
I know it's gone over the tank traps, stand by.
With Interceptors braced for a decamp, the dicey driver careers over a pavement at full pelt.
On to, I think this is Killistick Road again. It is Killistick Road. We're doing loop.
Circling past the playing fields for a second time, the suspected drink driver could still be looking for somewhere to bail out.
Remains Kinetic Road, speed is 50. Where is the next available unit, please?
We're just Cottage Road coming towards you now.
Received, we're still on the same loop. We're on Birchfield Road again now. CRA medium.
Heading for the end of the road, take 2.
It's going to be left, left, left. Stand by. Look, running.
The driver decides to take his chances on foot, but the Interceptors are hot on his heels.
Foxtrot 2-3, we've got a vehicle failing to stop.
In Arnold, the Interceptors are in pursuit of a suspected drink driver who's hitting high speeds and taking big risks on wet winter roads.
I know he's gone over the tank trap. Stand by.
After leading cops on a loop of the estate,
He's going to be left, left, left.
the driver hits the brakes
Stand by. Look, running.
and is on his toes with an officer close behind. As the driver makes a break for it, so does one of the 3 passengers, who quickly sees sense and returns,
Right, fair of you.
leaving Rich Elliott alone and taser drawn to deal with the 3 passengers, 2 of which are becoming aggressive.
Get out with you. Right, the pair of you, so all 3 of you are being detained, right? Calm it down. Calm it down. Right.
Scared me.
What's that? Right, stay there.
Going to tease about.
Yeah, I'm going to tase you if you come with me aggressively, yeah.
Faced with the prospect of 50,000 volts, the passengers are keeping their distance, but still making threats.
Go road, please. Yeah, I've got 3 lads here, all from the car. Just need units to meet.
What's that? What's smashing that thing? Hold
You're going to smash my head, are you?
That's
All right.
legal.
Obviously, I just need to check that car's legit.
To stop.
All right.
That is not our problem.
All right.
My dad's funeral.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But saying you're going to smash my head is not going to help the situation, is it?
No, because it's my dad's funeral.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
lost.
I
My
get,
voice.
yeah,
I'm
mate,
lost.
I get that. I get why you might be upset.
Finally, the cavalry arrives.
Right.
You don't want to stop. That's not our problem. We're telling him,
Yeah.
slow down.
Fine.
Stop.
Fine.
Pull over.
Yeah, but no point being aggressive to me. I didn't know you started funeral.
sorry.
did I? Right.
I'm sorry.
Fine.
All right?
Sorted. Right. We'll get to the bottom of it then, won't we?
One way of getting to the bottom of it will be to question the driver, and a suspect has been chased deep into the estate.
Stay there. Need a unit to me, I've got 1 detained. Stay there. Put your hands on the floor. Put your hands. Keep your hands where I can see him.
To ensure the suspect doesn't get the chance to make another run for it, the officer calls for backup. But after the foot chase through dark alleyways, he's lost.
I'm on a footpath behind some houses.
The lone interceptor uses an app to guide in backup.
My what 3 words are adding, pass.
What 3 Words is an app often used by the emergency services to pinpoint locations. Every 3 meters squared in the world is identified by a unique combination of 3 words, meaning help in the form of Mark, Paul and Chalky is on hand in no time.
Hi. What's your name, pal? It's done now, isn't it? Is that you? Is it you or not?
You're overtowing the car, it's not me.
I don't know.
Well, I'm not up to the best one.
Well, yeah, because I followed you from the driver's seat, mate.
There you go. Okay, sort out custody then, won't we? Just back up this one.
With the suspected driver detained, the passengers are free to go.
Just got 3 more. Right.
But back at the car, once again, aggression levels are rising. One of the raging passengers sees red and is heading for the cameraman.
Oh, cameraman. Hey, Dad. Off.
Kicking off, he's refusing to go down without a fight.
Bit of a
telly.
He's arrested for drunken disorderly behaviour.
Do this bit nicely, shall we?
Gladly do it.
It's been an eventful night shift for Rich, having handled the pursuit and an angry car full.
Two were quite hostile. Fortunately, I had a taser, so I drew it and red dotted them. I'm not going to have a fight with 3 lads on my own. It's just, it's not going to end well, quite frankly. Well, I've been told that the drive is well in drink. The speeds they were doing in residential areas is just dangerous through and through. But unfortunately, there have been no injuries, and we've brought us to a successful and safe resolution.
The lad nicked in the alleyway was convicted of dangerous driving and failing to provide a specimen, as well as driving without a valid licence or insurance. He got 9 months behind bars and was banned from driving for 24 months. The passenger who kicked off was ordered to pay a fixed penalty notice for drunk and disorderly behaviour. It's fair to say an interceptor can never drop their guard. No two jobs are the same, and not all suspects put their bad behaviour on show from the get-go.
It's not unusual that you might meet, Mr. Nice Guy 1 second who becomes Mr. Nasty in sort of a split second. If people are fuelled by alcohol or drugs, then they become sort of unpredictable by definition, really. Mood swings. One moment compliant, one moment not. Sometimes it's trying to sort of reason with the unreasonable.
On patrol in the unmarked Volvo are Rob and the Sarge, Ian.
Yeah, it's in towards the city, heading towards QMC by the looks of it.
There are reports of another suspected drink driver.
Got somebody who's been seen leaving the pub a little worse for wear. Has got into a red Audi. We've now got a police officer behind it on the ring road. So we're just going to try and catch up with it.
While Rob puts his foot down, the suspect is being tailed by a plain car.
I'm now none for cover. Continues over Dunkirk.
Zulu 5 just coming past QMC now.
Rugby player Ian has nearly 2 decades' experience as an interceptor, and knowing that the driver could be over the limit, the last thing he wants is a pursuit.
Approaching the next junction with the 453.
To kick the driver's journey into touch, the plan is to wrap the Audi in a 3-car box.
Approaching the underpass where it splits off towards Clifton.
A second unit gets behind the red Audi.
Currently a lane 2.
Closely followed by Rob and Ian.
Zulu 5, we're just coming up behind you, Clifton Boulevard. Got your 3rd T-pack in the stick now, we're at the back.
With everyone in position, the suspected drink driver navigates off the main road. And the team break cover.
As we approach the junction with A60, we'll go for it. Drive.
Car boxed, 0 contact. A flawless finish.
We stopped you because you got some possibly drink driving, is that correct? No? Okay. How much have you actually had to drink?
I've had a couple.
Yeah. What, beer lagers or?
Yeah, a couple of lagers, yeah.
The cool-headed driver admits he's just left the pub. So, to clear the road, the team move round the corner for a breathalyser.
I have to warn you that it is an offence to fail or refuse to provide me with a specimen under these circumstances. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
This stop's going like clockwork, as the compliant driver is only too happy to do a breath test.
Keep going, lovely, thank you. That's it, stop. So as you can see, it's come up with a fail. with a result of 55. The limit is 35. Okay, so you're now under arrest on suspicion of driving whilst over the prescribed limit.
Having failed the roadside breath test, the driver will be taken to the NIC to give an evidential specimen of breath.
It's not caused us any trouble, having only just left the pub. He might still be going up, so he might blow at a higher rate when we get him to the custody suite. We'll just have to find out.
So far, this stop has been plain sailing. But once they reach custody...
What are you looking for? Are you putting drugs on me? Is that what you're doing, you?
It's a different story.
You're nailing me, aren't you? That's what you're doing. You're trying to nail me.
Stop nailing me.
You tried to nail me.
It's all on camera, you're being searched.
Piece of... Oh. Think you're strong, do you think you're strong? What have you put on me, you...
The search is all clear.
Like you say, guys, I'm not going anywhere.
With peace somewhat restored, Ian is ready to take the driver for his breath test. But there's another problem.
There's the toilet or after that way? Well, I can't go before.
Ian can't let the driver go to the toilet until after he's completed the breath test. Because if the suspect doesn't give a specimen of breath, that first sample of urine could be golden evidence, which can be tested for alcohol levels.
Do you mind if I piss on the floor then?
Well, I can't stop you wetting yourself, but I would prefer if you didn't.
That's what it might come to. I'm a 50-year-old bloke, yeah?
Despite Ian's preference...
Oh dear.
The suspect urinates in the cell.
Have you seen this piss all over the floor, mate? Look.
Don't flick that at me.
Crack it in. Yeah? Stop piss all over the floor. Crack it in. Piss.
Right.
Piss
Silly.
all over the floor.
Stupid. Come out the way.
Piss all over the floor. Yeah?
Last chance, calm down. Now stand up.
Well,
stand up and take a breath.
Ask for assistance, and you've just gone like that.
I've said... I didn't...
You just said like, no, you're not having no assistance.
At what point did I say that to you? I said you have to wait a couple of minutes while we do the test. And you decided to wet yourself.
You're going to stay to me.
Yeah, we're going to swap them trousers in a minute. We can't do
Oh,
anything.
yeah, that's brilliant. Are you going to put them on the line as well?
After receiving some fresh clothes courtesy of custody, it's finally time for the evidential breath test.
We've managed to get this chap to calm down a little bit now. He's good, well, he's said so far he's going to go through with the intox procedure. We've got him in the intox room now, and hopefully we'll get a sample.
I warn you that failure to provide either of these specimens will render you liable to prosecution. Do you agree to provide 2 specimens of breath for analysis?
I want a blood test.
Once again, the suspected drink driver is not playing ball.
Listen to me.
I want blood.
Listen to me.
Because I know how good I am.
The offer is, for a breath test, we do not offer blood unless specific circumstances arise, and you do not meet that criteria at this stage.
Blood samples can be taken if there's a reason to believe someone cannot do the breath test for medical reasons.
I don't want to breathe into like other people's breath. I want blood.
Okay. So are there any medical reasons why you cannot or should not provide 2 specimens of breath?
Yeah, I know for a fact I can't breathe that hard.
There are specific criteria to meet for you to have a blood sample. You cannot simply request it. So unless you're going to provide 2 specimens of breath, I'll take that as a refusal and we'll go back to the custody sergeant.
That's so wrong.
Fantastic. Do you want to stand up for me then, please?
Failing to provide a sample can carry a maximum sentence of 6 months imprisonment, a driving ban or an unlimited fine.
But he's... None at all. In fact, he kept blowing after I told him to stop.
Oh, that's good evidence, isn't it?
He's trying every trick in the book at the moment, just stalling for time, trying to eke it out, trying to make complaints.
I've had 15, well, at least 12 cop cars around me, yeah? I don't know why. What was that all about?
This process has been going on for many, many years, and
everybody's tried to find a loophole and there just isn't one. The law is quite clear.
For failing to provide a specimen, the driver was banned from the roads for 12 months and had to pay a total of £199 in fines and costs.
9 times out of 10, you know, you'll get somebody who starts off like this individual, absolutely calm, quite placid, you know, absolutely fine. 9 times out of 10, they'll remain like that through your entire encounter with them. But this guy's just a reminder that not everyone stays calm. So yeah, never drop your guard with people.
Coming up.
Hey, you okay, guys? Yes, thank you.
Gav and Macca interrupt a night ride in Newark.
I'd appreciate some honesty. Sorry, sir. Of course, you're acting really nervous.
And?
I think it's going to go off-road again.
The Interceptors go off-road to tackle an illegal rider.
Walk right now.
Rapid. Nimble.
Vehicle still failing stop, currently medium risk.
Able to mount pavements and go where cars can't follow. Few are more dangerous than a menace on a motorbike.
We've got a duty of care to the rider because of the risk that comes with pursuing a motorbike. To the rider, they'll hedge the bets that they'll be able to fail to stop, will abort, but criminals can't be under the illusion that if they ride a bike they'll get away with things, because they won't. We will go after them and we will stop them.
In a northerly suburb of Nottingham, dog handler Jen Else is blue lighting to a job when a rider on a high-powered bike up ahead wrongly thinks the lights and sirens are for him and floors it. Overtaking traffic, failing to stop at 70 and charging the wrong way over a roundabout towards oncoming cars. The reckless rider makes a potentially lethal mistake. As he tries to overtake and crashes into a car turning right. The rider is sent flying down the road along with his bike. A collision at such high speeds could be catastrophic. But miraculously, the walking wounded suspect is fleeing the scene. News of the crash travels fast.
Left again, isn't it?
Firearms cops Lisa and Paul are one of a number of units responding.
We're just going to get there, check that the status of the member of the public who's been hit, I would think, and try and find this lad that's made off. It'll be just here, just up. The bike's all the way down there.
That's what I mean.
Right. That took you by surprise, didn't it? You got any kids in or anything?
No.
The driver appears to be okay, but shaken by the crash.
Have you got probably a bit of shock and you might get a pain later on or something like that, I would think.
That way.
I don't even know.
That way or that way? Not that way.
As long as you've got somebody with you at home, because you never know when a bit of shock might kick in, all right.
Thankfully, the innocent member of the public doesn't seem to have been seriously injured, but the damage to his car clearly shows the force of the impact.
I can't believe how far behind the motorbike's gone.
Scattered down the road are the rider's helmet, a shoe, and the bike, which has scored the pavement before coming to a stop.
When we get riders of motorbikes that fail to stop, they ride terrible, you know, they ride really fast. They weave in and out of vehicles, and they don't really see the dangers ahead of them because they're going too fast for their own ability. And as you can see, it's a long way down there.
After the crash, the rider was seen jumping a fence into gardens. So the team have contained the area while they search for the suspect.
We don't believe the rider of the bike's got any major injuries to worry about, but it is concerning when they go and we don't know where they are. It's always surprising. Oh, they've got him. Oh, that's fab. So the update we just had over the air is that another couple of AFOs, Dan and Rob, have found him. He's missing a trainer and covered in blood, but he's conscious breathing, so that's positive, and positive that we found him.
Recent figures show around 32% of motorcycle accidents result in riders sustaining serious injuries. Having witnessed this accident firsthand, Jen is thankful the rider hasn't become another statistic.
As I've come up this road, it's a typical, got my blue lights on, he thinks that I'm after him, and he just clipped the car. The bike's rolled over and I was just fearing the worst, to be honest. And we've since found out the bike's stolen, been stolen a year, riding around on false plates and no insurance, and he's got no licence either, so that's why he was running. But for me, he's lucky to be alive, to be honest. That could have ended very differently.
The rider escaped without serious injuries. He's currently awaiting a charging decision for dangerous driving, driving without a valid licence or insurance, failing to stop for the police and theft of a motor vehicle. No further action was taken for the suspected false plates. Knowing the danger illegal riders are prepared to put not only themselves in, but everyone else on the road, the Interceptors are more determined than ever to catch them. Out and about in the northwest of the county are Matt and Lee from the knife crime team. Although this shift, it's not weapons on the menu.
It's got this, let it stop. It's not brake one. It's wearing a helmet.
It's rounding up an off-road biker who is refusing to stop.
So it's currently 6-5 on fast lane, it's medium rest. It's offside of key left bollard, it's back to the correct side of the road.
Pursuit authorised, the runaways rallying around corners and running red lights at crossroads.
Temporarily high risk on freeway red ATF.
Trying to lose the Interceptors. One thing the rider isn't banking on is he's caught the attention of the whole team.
We're Old Mill Lane now, where's best for us to go?
Plotting up nearby are Johnny and Mozza.
Just getting a stinger out in case he comes down this way. Stinger's been authorised, so we're going to get one out and sit with it on the lap just in case.
And travelling in from across town to tighten the net are Chantel and Dean.
That's 1.5. Left swan lane.
Nice going right into where the old White Woodhouse.
It's going to go off-road then.
Sure enough, with Matt and Lee in pursuit, the rider pulls the textbook move.
Down it, stop. Temporary lost, Quarry Hill, he'll come out on Vale Road. I can't follow him due to the metal barrier.
The biker may be off-road, but he's far from off the radar.
If he does come out at Plesley, though, where would it come out? I don't think it'd go straight.
Roundabout at Plesley, and either do back into Mansfield or right towards Sharborough.
I'm going to go Sharborough.
Adrenaline junkie Chantel's dream set of two wheels would be the supercharged Kawasaki Ninja H2R. But today, she'll settle for intercepting this off-roader. Chantel and Dean comb the country roads.
Hey up, stand by. Is that it?
An H offside.
Yeah, see it.
They picked up the rider for a second time.
We're behind it. It's a common lane back towards Mansfield.
True to form, the rider is hitting high speeds to escape.
5-0 in a 6-0. He's low. He's going left into industrial estate, out down lane.
1-3, we're ahead.
Right, Church Lane. It's come off the main drag.
Leading them to another dead end.
I think it's going to go off-road again.
He's up to old tricks with disappearing act number 2.
That's the initial one. I think you picked it up.
So he's gone down there.
With a dog handler on scene, Dean and Chantel go into the fields to look for the rider. No chance for a disappearing hat trick. They find the rider hiding in the bushes.
Behind your back then.
Victory for the knife crime team.
1 detained.
Boom.
Boom.
Confirm 1 detained.
You're under arrest for failing to stop, please.
Right, no problem.
Don't say anything, we have friends, no mental questions. Something to later on in court.
The catch of the day doesn't have a licence or insurance either.
Yeah, jump in there.
Knowing the next stop is custody, he's been left wondering where it all went wrong.
You don't get caught on motocross bikes. You don't understand what's happening.
Thanks to the Interceptors' determination, the rider was convicted of failing to stop and driving without a valid licence or insurance. He received a 12-month suspended prison sentence, 120 hours of unpaid work, and was disqualified from driving for 2 years. To top it off, his bike was scrapped. The Roads crime team's bread and butter is stopping suspects on the move. And there's more than one way to get the job done. From full-blown operations
Vehicle stopped, no damage. Turn your engine off, engine off.
to reacting to hits on the ANPR network.
Maybe obsession with Max.
And you just can't beat
That scrapper.
a good old bit of Interceptor intuition.
I knew he looked dodgy.
That was a good one, that.
Macca and Gav are in Newark.
See him.
Just one look at a passing green Polo and they're on its bumper. Gav runs the car through the police computer.
Drugs information, East Leak.
Stop him.
Yeah.
With another unit already on hand, Macca lights up the Polo.
Get out, mate.
And Gav gets straight to the point.
Hey, you okay, guys?
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to ask you straight up, mate. Are you carrying anything here? It shouldn't be here now.
No.
So,
No.
hang on. I'd appreciate some honesty.
Sorry, sir.
Because you're acting really nervous, okay? And I've just done a quick check on the car, just in that time before I stopped you, and there's some information around you may be involved in drugs.
Right, okay.
So I'm going to ask you now, if you've got some personal use, we can sort it out at the roadside. But you are going to get Search and Misuse of Drugs Act, so it's a good time just to tell me if you're carrying anything. You're not? Okay.
Before joining Roads Crime, Gav spent years on the beat with the knife crime team, hunting down those carrying weapons and drugs.
Demeanour's very nervous, mate. Both of them. Keep your hand where I can see it, please, mate.
And alarm bells are ringing about this twitchy twosome.
What you been to Newark for?
I'm just with my friend coming along.
Okay, and how long have you been here for then?
I've said about 40 minutes.
Okay, just come to Newark?
Yeah.
40 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, step out, buddy. Keep your hand where I can see it, mate.
Yeah.
It's great to see that, Tom.
The cops aren't buying it's a swift night trip to Newark, so with the help of fellow Interceptor Nick, the driver, passenger and Polo are searched.
Turn around first, buddy.
Yeah, sure.
You want to tell me what this is in the footwell of the car?
No, I've just been sitting in the car.
Right.
So.
Nick him, Nick. Right, at the minute, I
Yeah.
suspect this is a Class A drug, so you're under arrest on suspicion of possessing a Class A drug with intent to supply. You don't have to say anything that may harm your defence if you don't answer some questions, something which later will only court. And anything you do say may be given evidence. That was in the footwell of the car where you were sat. Okay.
I've just been
And also
in the car.
on suspicion of possessing a bladed article.
I bought that today.
Remember, you're under caution, and this camera is filming.
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes of stopping the motor, the interceptors have found a package of suspected cocaine and 2 knives. But the Polo is the gift that keeps on giving.
A baton?
Yeah.
Baton as well.
Right, as it stands, right, it's Class A Peewits.
Yeah.
It's bladed article times 2.
Yeah.
And off-wet times 1, because there's an extendable baton.
Yeah.
Has he got anything on him?
Just the scales.
Scales. We'll finish that search, I'll come back to you.
There's more. Mac has found a large wad of cash, and he's yet to search the boot.
Whose bags are this?
Nothing to do with me, sir.
That's a load of cannabis. He just sold it.
Yeah.
That's what all the cash is for.
Yeah. We'll seize that.
So that box has got a Ziploc bag in it, like a vacuum packed bag, which has obviously been full of cannabis. It's empty now, but it stinks. So I'm guessing they've just sold all the cannabis, which is why they've got all the cash in the wallet. So yeah, 2 knives, a baton, drugs, cash. Decent result.
Keen to gather as much evidence as possible, once the suspects are dropped off at custody, Macca and Gav execute a warrant at an address linked to the driver and seize a safe, as well as another interesting find.
There's one of these magnetic boxes here, which are common for drug dealers. What they do is put the drugs inside, secure it with the clips. It's magnetic. Stick it underneath the car, and often you'll look underneath the car and you'll find one of these full of drugs or cash.
Both items are seized for the investigation. The safe was cracked open, but found to be empty. However, both the driver and passenger have been released under investigation for dealing Class A drugs and possession of an offensive weapon. Still to come.
Oh, that's it, that's it. That's one there.
A disqualified driver is in denial.
You self-free driving? Yeah, okay.
No, I'm not. What?
So, you driving that car?
When?
Just now?
No.
Dad.
Halfway through a 12-hour day shift are Lisa and Rich.
I've got a feeling I'm going to drink this. It's going to go everywhere.
Wait till I'm going over the bumps and
Yeah.
realise, tea experience.
The dangerous thing.
Off-duty thrill-seeker Rich is a keen adventure racer. In a previous life, he was an intelligence analyst. And now, with 14 years on the force...
Yes, it's heading towards that way.
He's an expert at keeping tabs on cloned cars.
Just had an activation of an ANPR camera of a vehicle that's believed to be on cloned plates. So we're just going to put ourselves in the area, see if we can pick it up.
The black Golf on suspected cloned plates has already hit 2 ANPR cameras.
I'm going to go shield rise towards there.
Typically, false plates are often used to hide the identity of a stolen car or a dodgy driver.
NH were not far down.
As a third camera hit comes in, there's no doubt the motor is still on the road.
Yeah, kill them there. Hopefully they'll be at the 610 junction.
Nearing the Black Golf's last known location, the Interceptor's view is blocked by a lorry.
I think it may have gone straight up, mate. I just saw Golf, I think, go straight up.
Lisa tries to get a line of sight.
NH, we might have just caught sight of it going across the 610, continuing towards Broxton. It's not confirmed though.
Straight on.
Yeah, go straight on. I'm sure you might even see it.
Reaching the busy crossroads.
Yeah, go.
There's no sign of the Golf.
And there's a million ways it could turn off already.
The trail's gone cold.
It's not pinged anything since.
If the suspected cloned car isn't pinging cameras, chances are it's been parked up somewhere nearby.
Oh, what's this?
No.
Lisa and Rich check each and every turn.
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
That's it.
that's it.
That's one there.
Until they clap eyes on it.
We're with this Golf Woodfield Road.
The engine is still running and a couple are lingering nearby.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Hey, mate. Is that your car?
Get the coat out of it.
Sorry?
Get my stuff out of it. Coat.
You get your coat out of it? Oh, yourself who's driving? Yeah, okay.
No, I'm not. What?
I think you were driving it. I've seen an image of the driver. Yeah,
I was driving.
Were you driving that car?
When?
Just now.
No.
So that car's just got here, hasn't it?
No, I wasn't driving the car.
So you've got your coat out of it?
Why are you lying?
You just see me up in the back door.
Yeah.
Someone is selling porkies, and it's not Rich.
Righto.
But have you just seen me drive that car?
You haven't seen nothing.
No, but I've seen an ANPR image of a female driving the car.
You just said that you've just seen me driving the car.
I've seen an ANPR image of a female driving that car.
So you've seen a video?
NH, we've got a couple detained here at the shop, so we're just trying to get to the bottom of it. They're denying driving it.
Rich applies a little more pressure.
Just keep your hands out your pockets, folks. What we're going to do is going to give you a quick search. In a minute, I suspect that car might be stolen, okay?
Stolen?
Yeah.
Stolen? Are you mad?
Yeah, well, that's the reason why.
Never ever do. Come on, mate.
Stolen car.
Okay, well, how do you know that then? And if you know a bit more about it, then tell me.
Yeah, all right then. Yeah. I was the driver and it's not a stolen car.
Right.
Okay?
Is it on false plates? Is it on false plates?
I've just bought the car.
You've just bought it?
I've literally bought the car.
Okay.
I bought it from...
The driver admits she recently bought the car for 500 quid. And while we're spilling the beans...
Have you got a licence?
No, I got provisional.
That's not quite the whole truth either.
Right, so you're disqualified until April.
What was that?
Yeah, it's on our database, so it's on the DL database. Okay, so you shouldn't be driving.
I thought it gave you some paperwork. I thought it was up.
No, not until April next year.
She's banned from driving for another 14 months.
Also, the car's not on the right plates. It's on, yeah, they're clone plates. So, which I think if you were straight with me, you'd say no, because you drive whilst disqualified without a licence. Okay, which is probably why it's on false plates, to avoid having to go through the official channels and get all your documentation sorted.
I just bought it like that.
Right.
All roads lead to the same outcome. The Interceptors will be taking the car off her hands.
You need your baby snacks out of it.
Just a fag.
And reporting her for driving whilst disqualified and without insurance.
We found subsequently a couple of child seats in the car, so leads me to suspect that at some point she's been driving around with no licence or insurance with children in the car, young children. So the females are claiming to have just bought the car, which is a regular story we often hear, that they've only just bought it. However, it's been driving around on these plates, we're quite confident, for at least a week. So at least it's today off the road, she won't be able to drive it with no licence or insurance anymore.
No legal action was taken against the woman for the false plates, but she was convicted of driving whilst disqualified and driving without insurance. She was banned from the roads for another 19 months, sentenced to 60 hours of unpaid work and had to pay costs of £85. Lisa lets Rich do the honours.
On this occasion, Rich...
Oh, do I get to drive it?
You get to drive the...
Do you want to drive it?
No. I always drive him.
All right.
On this occasion, you can drive off and stall it and...
Make myself look all right one.
And we're back with the Interceptors next Wednesday at 8. Have a nose around some of the swankiest pads imaginable in Monaco. How the Super Rich Live is brand new on Friday night at 8. Decades pass, and yet a killer remains unidentified next. The victim's husband shares his account, the mysterious murder of Anne Heron, in just a moment.
Oh, police! Come to the door!
You've come to no harm! Shots fired!
Crime never sleeps. But neither
Police officer with the taser!
do the cops. Battling on the front line
Get on the floor! Get on the floor now!
are Nottinghamshire's finest. Highly trained pursuit drivers.
Oh, God. Vehicle failing to stop.
Specialists in entry and search.
Oh my word. There is multi-kilos of cannabis in here.
Rapid response firearms officers. And the crime-stopping force of the dog unit. Wherever the battle takes them,
On the ground!
they'll never back down.
Taser!
Because cometh the hour,
Yeah, Zulu 2, we're underneath you now, Impact.
cometh the Interceptors.
Put it this way, mate. You level that gun at us, you would have got shot.
Coming up,
Yeah, subject is reversing.
head on with an April Fool.
He's trying to come towards him. And it's contact.
Full on with a would-be hard man.
Why is this? Wait, what? Wait.
All over a suspected cyclist.
He's gonna crash.
Interceptors drive high-end motors, and while they know the value of a luxury Beamer, they also know when to sacrifice it. A timely tactical contact can end a pursuit and keep innocent bystanders out of the hospital.
Ambulance.
It's the early hours of April Fool's Day, and Dan Machin is in the ice cream van with Elvis Presley. April Fool! It's the X5 with Ian Coleman. But there is one fool out on this April night.
Stolen. Stolen with keys.
It seems a man has swiped his partner's keys, followed by his partner's car.
What car is it, please?
Vauxhall Mariva in light blue.
The race is on to outmaneuver the Mariva.
Foxtrot Zulu 5, we're Gregory Boulevard. Where are you now?
Ian's a Monty Python fan, but the holy grail tonight is a blue hatchback taken without consent.
Down here. Zulu 5, we're on to Sherwood Rise now, coming up the hill. Hold on.
Getting eyes on the car is no mean feat.
Left on Beach Avenue.
What? I can't follow his...
Sherwood Rise inbound towards town.
But Dan and Ian are old hands. Calling time on the wild goose chase, they plot up at the most likely escape route.
Zulu 5, we're waiting on Sherwood Rise.
Hard work this is.
Isn't it just?
We're becoming Gregory Boulevard from Alfton Road End.
Incoming.
Here he goes. Yeah, Zulu 5 behind it now. Vehicle is failing to stop. It's currently Alberta Terrace, medium risk, and it's a left Foxhall Road. Speed is 30. We're in a marked advanced vehicle, T-Pack train.
Speed bumps are meant to calm traffic on this tight residential road.
Speed is 50.
But nothing's slowing the runaway.
Going over the tank traps. We are following onto Foxhall Road, downhill towards appears to be the Forest Wreck at the bottom.
The Springs are taking a hammering.
Big one.
As cops set up a stinger on the road ahead to take out the bad guy's tyres.
There's a stinger coming ahead of you down, just so you know.
Just things that I'll cover. Yes.
But Mariva the magician foresees the stinger and dodges the spikes.
Yeah, we've gone a right onto Knoll Street.
Then disappears in a puff of smoke. In fact, it's dust from Nottingham's trams because the runaway is racing down a tram-only stretch of tarmac.
That's what tricky this is.
Luckily, today's first tram isn't due for 3 hours. And they emerge from the dust to spot the Mariva in the distance.
Yeah, plan will be if we can get Stinger in front of it at the moment. Obviously, opportunity to box it in has gone. Alberta Terrace, and it is a right onto Sherwood Rise, towards town.
With multiple stingers in the area, the runaway's running out of escape routes.
And it is a left onto Clumber Avenue.
A chance to box him in, and Dan's all over it. But he slipped the net.
Yeah, subject is reversing. He's trying to come towards him, and it's contact.
As the reckless driver makes for open road, Dan seizes the initiative. And bang, tactical contact.
And it's contact.
The Mariva somehow survives the hit, and it's away.
Continuing, Clarendon College.
They need to stop it before someone gets hurt.
Here he goes. Vehicle is failing to stop.
Interceptors are after an April fool who took a car without consent.
We're in a marked advanced vehicle, T-Pack trained.
A meaty tactical contact.
It's contact.
Failed to shut him down.
Yeah, continuing. We are Clarendon Park.
But this is the end of the line. Unless you go through the line.
Negative. No injuries to officers.
He's bailing out.
It's a stop, Clarendon College, vehicle boxed.
But what he doesn't know is there are 4 cops just over that wall. In the time it takes to leg it over, the driver's been wrestled to the floor.
You got him?
He's resisting. But he's no chance.
Got another cuff on that wrist.
NH from Oscar, Foxtrot, Zulu 5. Yes, 1 occupant or detained.
Right, we're happy, let's get him in cart.
The Mariva has taken a mighty hammering.
Tactical contacts crushed everything apart from the wheel.
It was square on the wheel, that's what I was aiming for, and it's not touched it.
It's a bit of a mess inside as well.
Spilt his beer anyway.
Yeah.
He may well have drunk some first.
Have you had any alcohol in the last 20 minutes?
Cops in the van are trying to establish how much.
I have given drink creams up. Right, mate, blow into there for us. Keep going. Stop, rubber stuff, thank you. Jay, you've blown 0.
It's 0.
What? I know, I'm impressed.
I've had like 5 beers.
Well, you want to take them back, mate, because you've been done.
Booze-free beer is the least of his worries right now.
Do you know, or?
Yeah, apparently he's wanted for all sorts.
Oh, that makes it a bit better.
Yeah. You had to do it, mate, you had to do it. He wasn't going to stop, was he?
No.
And there was no other options because he was dodging all the stingers, so not going anywhere now, are we?
He does drive?
Yeah. Check tyres, make sure tyres are all right, and if it's drivable, we'll have to take it back to the lodge. That will not buff out.
It's more than a bit of silly bang to get this one repaired, Sergeant.
The runaway who totaled the Mariva was found guilty of aggravated vehicle taking, driving with no insurance, resisting arrest and further unconnected offences. The judge gave him a 20-month driving ban and a 16-month stay at Her Majesty's pleasure.
Good as new.
And that's no joke.
It's quite ironic, April Fool's Day, and we've found the fall of the night.
And your first name?
Jeffrey. Wing. Jason.
Interceptors' jobs aren't always straightforward.
No middle names?
Smith.
What?
Smith.
Smith?
Yeah.
Middle name?
James. Jason James Jeffrey.
Sometimes...
Why have you got the wrong plates on?
Why would I drive it like this? You know what I mean?
it's tricky to get the facts.
That's a very good question, and one which I don't know the answer to.
Where's the keys?
And when outsiders stick their oars in...
Duke with the camera blade.
Yeah, do you know what? I'll get my thing.
No, fam, that is a joke, yeah?
It can be hard to know what's going on at all.
I've got big fucking you.
He's managed to run off from us. After I've secured his keys, we found cannabis in the back of the car.
It's mid-afternoon, and dog handler Jen Else is blue lighting to a flat in Bulwell.
I'm just coming through Limby.
It's the address of a man stopped earlier with drugs in his car. He fled the cops on foot, but left his car and door keys behind. And now, someone's breaking into his flat.
It's basically a code blue, which is a burglary in progress. And we think he's gone to his home address because we've got the keys. He might have like a cannabis grow there or something. He's gone to clear it before we get there.
Having left his keys behind, it seems the runaway's now in a rush to get into his home.
By the sounds of it, yeah, he's broke into his own house.
Witnesses report the suspect outside the flat with a second man in a white Mercedes.
Can have a look.
But men and Merc have now made off.
There's two of them, two in and fro-in. Eventually they've come back to the car, panicked I think. And then, yeah, drove off at about 110 mile an hour, so our caller says.
Jen needs to piece the story together, and she starts at the damaged flat.
We've got his keys, you see, so that's probably the only way you can get in.
So the drugs here now?
Yeah.
Is there? A lot, or?
Not massive. There's some cannabis in here, some wax in there.
So nothing to write home about, is there?
Wraps of suspected Class A downstairs.
We're just going to check the loft now and see.
Okay.
The upstairs is clear, which leaves the loft.
Yeah, there's a grow.
There's a grow?
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Oh, it's proper lined out as well. It's got some effort.
Can confirm there's a grow in the loft at this address, 8 mature plants. We've also found some suspected wraps of Class A as well.
With thousands in weed in the loft and Class A's in the lounge, cops need to find the runaway who lives here and the man he drove off with.
This is where we need to be like one step ahead, researching that car and see if we can get the full reg. And if we can get the full reg, we can put it out there. And obviously, cameras might pick it up.
Jen's inquiries have nailed down the registration of the Merc seen speeding away.
Can I pass the reg?
She figures the best hope of finding the suspected weed farmer is finding the car he left in.
Our man's going to be in that.
Yes, stand by one.
The Merc's registered to a man known to the cops, and it's been spotted.
And that'll be on the way to the home address. Keeper's address. So we'll go there.
Before joining Dogs, Jen was a detective, and she's rightly deduced that the Merc was heading for its registered address.
Is anyone in it, is there? And I've got the vehicle. He's not seeing me though, I've stopped short of it and I'm just reversing out now. But it's a dead end up here, I think.
The trouble is, marked dog vans aren't built for covert detective work.
I stick out like a sore thumb, Jim, to be fair. So I'll stay here until, if you want to come and sit here somewhere a bit less obvious than I am.
It's not long before unmarked reinforcements arrive.
Can take the girl out of the detective role.
Fellow interceptors Jim and Paul.
Because it's literally just round that corner.
Well, he can't see us from here though, he's on the other side
No,
of the
he
road.
can't, but jumbo drums go, don't they? So if one of us, like, the plane car stayed here and we just disappeared around the corner a minute while we make decisions.
Yeah, sounds good. To the team, bear in mind our footprint is quite impressive at the minute. Leave the white BMW where you are. Should obviously the Mercedes move off
A police drone will observe from the sky while the team move in and surround the house.
Yeah, Jen's moving forward, so we shall get cracking.
Is that you want us to move forward?
Go on up. Up. Wait. Come on, come on.
All ready for a ding-dong, Jim does the honours.
There's a ring doorbell there, so I've seen us coming.
A video doorbell means the owner already knows they're here. But no one's answering the door.
I can see you, Rich, from the front window. Hello, Mr. Police, can you come to the door? You're in.
The doorbell's answered remotely. The person on the other end says they're on their way home and nearly there.
Okay. See when you get here then.
Maybe this might be them there. You're right.
This is the owner of the white Merc, suspected of speeding off from Cannabis Heights.
I have my car. I gave it to my mate.
You gave it to your mate?
I gave it to my mate.
Right. Who's your mate? Hey? Well, he's been involved in something, mate.
Yeah,
and you...
I know, and I'm not involved though. That's what I'm saying. I've been at work, man.
But...
I've done nothing wrong.
Okay, listen to him.
Look at this, man. This is
listen to me. As the owner of a car,
yeah.
you've lent, so you have a legal obligation to tell me who was involved in the incident that's been. Because if you don't, you're going to get dealt with as if it was you.
Nick me then, innit?
Get out of my body. You've got a warrant. You've got a legal right to be there, mate. You've got to know that. You've got a warrant. I don't need a warrant. I don't need a warrant. Surround the
got a warrant. Get out of my house.
Mate, calm yourself down and go in handcuffs.
The last time Interceptors had this suspect in cuffs, he made a painful error of judgment, fleeing the cops and face-planting down an alley.
We've got him. Shut him up!
Before kicking off at Gavin Dan.
Get in the car, because you're making it worse. Get in the car. I can't move you.
That's happened. No, you haven't.
Keep his cool and cooperate today, and he'll avoid the bracelets.
You're getting yourself all wound up for absolutely no reason. You're the one that's approached us all nice and calm.
1, 2, 3,
yeah.
4. What's the point?
Well, do you know what offence it's been involved in?
No, I don't.
Right.
Don't.
So, who was the driver?
No.
You don't know?
No.
Right, so you're going to get dealt with as if
You've been out all day.
I've been at work. Ring my work. Ring my work. Ring my... What have I done?
I said I don't believe you.
No,
I'm just asking you a question.
He refuses to name the mate who borrowed his car, so it's into handcuffs for a trip to the Nick.
You're under arrest for assisting an offender.
As Jen says, the jungle drums go, and they've reached a member of his tribe.
Get off me, man. Get off me. No, get off me.
Excuse me. Hello. What are you arresting me for? What am I getting arrested for? You, is it? It is. I'm his dad. He's a grown man. He's an adult. I want to know why you're arresting him now.
Bring my solicitor.
Why are you arresting me? Excuse me. Why are you arresting me? I want to know.
Because the suspect's an adult, cops aren't at liberty to divulge details of his arrest to a parent.
I want to know.
And Dad's arrival has lit the blue touch paper.
Why is this? No, what? Wait, mate, I'm just on a hip replacement. Stop it! Get back, please! Get back! You should be doing that!
The suspect lunged at one of the cops, missing a headbutt by inches. And all hell's broken loose. He's out of control, so Paul unloads a can of Parva spray in his face.
Doing that! My eyes! My eyes! His eyes!
The effects, though immediate and dramatic,
My eyes!
will be short-term.
My eyes burning! Yo! My eyes burning, bro!
But they've taken the fight out of him.
Parva, it's not going to blind you, it's going to hurt you and then it will wear off.
Burn my contact.
Down.
It's burning on my contact.
I know that. It will hurt you, it will not blind you, so calm down. If you just remain calm and chill out in the open air, it will wear off.
This could have been avoided if he'd come quietly, but at least he's calmed down.
What's wrong with you?
The problem now is Dad.
You can get locked up yourself, or you can walk away and come back in a few minutes when it's calmed down, and you've aggravated the situation. The reason this has happened is because you've come over and started your pin.
No, it is not at all. No, it's not.
Because you've come over
No,
to
it's
where we were
not.
stood with him shouting at us.
Go away now, please. I know you're on crutches.
Right,
Go away.
Otherwise,
Go away then. You'll do what?
I'll have you.
You'll do what?
You've been asked to step away.
I'm telling you, instructing me as a police officer. He's an adult and he's aware why we've been arrested.
Watched by a growing crowd, Dad's helping no one.
I can stand where I want to.
I'm telling you as a police officer, move away from me.
I'm a public citizen. You move away from me.
We've asked nicely for you to not get involved, haven't we? We have.
Public citizen. Our taxes. Please move away from me.
Move
I'll stay there.
to that side of the road. Arrested for police obstruction. Stay there. Fine. You're walking back towards me again, you're going to get arrested. Not my problem, you've got this whole area.
There's nothing you can do because he's under arrest. No, you can't, because you're going to end up getting arrested. You've been given several warnings now, so quit it, please.
Dad keeps interfering.
He's resisting arrest, mate.
While the team searches the house for the man from the cannabis flat allegedly last seen in Parva Guy's Mercedes.
Have you finished in there now?
Yeah.
Right.
But the house is empty. Still refusing to say who borrowed his Merc, Parva Guy's being linked to the address and the drugs inside.
Appreciate this will probably rile you a bit more, but it was the address that you think your vehicle's been to today, further arresting you on suspicion of cultivation of cannabis.
What?
And possession of a Class A controlled drug, so you don't have to say anything.
What?
On your defence if you do not mention my questions.
Are you for real? Oh my God.
He'll be kept in open air until the Parva wears off, which won't be long.
He's obviously just seen red and decided, I think he tried to headbutt Al. And, you know, we carry it's incapacitating pepper spray, and it's probably one of the lowest level uses of force we've got, because it literally has no long-term damage, but as you probably saw, it's got like an immediate incapacitating effect. But generally, just the impact of having something sprayed in your eyes knocks almost the wind out of people straight away, and then they end up just crying a lot on the floor.
Interceptors caught up with the suspect with the weed in his loft. He's now under investigation for cultivation of cannabis and possession with intent to supply Class A and Class B drugs. The Merc owner, who took a face full of Parva, is also under investigation for assisting an offender, possession of Class A and cultivation of cannabis. If found guilty, he really will have something to cry about. Still to come.
Get down on your front. Hey, get down.
Grappling with the drug they call Mamba.
Get down or you'll be tasered.
Tall tales from the stars of CCTV.
You don't believe me, do you?
No, I don't believe we'd seen.
And the world's grandest washback.
Probably, I would have thought 8-9 grand, maybe a little bit more.
You got any drugs on you, mate?
When it comes to drugs,
if you got a little bit of personal, you're not getting nicked for it. We'll deal with it at the roadside.
Knott's knife crime team know that suspects who cough to a minor amount
is offered up a tiny bit of cannabis. Literally, that is everything.
Are often concealing a whole lot more.
2 probably ounce bags behind the seat here, half an ounce bag and a deal bag in the centre console there.
Sergeant Matt Daly and Dan Mottershaw have spent their shift searching for an iffy Audi Q3.
Pinged AMPR earlier, but one of our cars has just picked it back up again.
No, it's there, isn't it? Is that involved?
The Audi's been picked up by Johnny and Toby near St Anne's Nick.
We're on to Woodbury Road now, outbound. Yeah, it's going to be worth a stop.
Dan gets his toe down and his Astra soon tucks in behind the lead car.
Yeah, so you go for a stop.
A flash of blues and the suspect stops as good as gold. As Dan pulls up and the Sarge steps out to assist, the driver seems to be stalling for time.
Dan, just stay with the car.
Okay.
The Sarge is taking no chances.
Yeah, he's got a bag of weed, big bag of weed in his hand. I'm just conscious he's not out of the car yet.
Yeah, 10-4, yeah, I'm ready if he goes.
The driver's coughed to carrying a bag of weed.
Yeah, he's out. Have you got anything else on your person?
Alright. I've gave him off, so whatever I had him. Alright. He's offering it up straight away. Why is he offering it up? It's like, is he trying to just give us that to put us off the scent of a lot more other stuff that he may have on him?
Suspicious, the team gives the suspect and his tasty Audi a thorough search.
A load of cash in here.
Has he? Oh, bless you, yeah. Just chucked in as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you got loads.
Bit in the centre console.
A lot of loose cash as well as the weed.
How much weed are we talking?
I don't know, maybe nearly an ounce.
Oh, right, okay.
About an ounce, maybe.
It always disconcerts when he's offered it up straight away.
Yeah.
Dan's worked his way up from community support officer to a key member of the knife crime team. And his instincts may be right. They've now found a second bag stowed in the suspect's sock.
What is it, weed?
Yeah, just some more weed.
Thing is, mate, we're going to find it. I know. Tell us now. It's easier. Because we'll take your car apart. That's the only thing.
More cash has been found in the car.
A few £100. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5. Probably like 600, 700 quid then.
all in dealers. I ain't got cash just thrown around my car. I don't keep 400 quid above some bars. It's classic signs of drug dealing, really.
They suspect this cash-rich customer of possession with intent to supply, but it's a close call.
I don't know actually how much cannabis he's got on him, so it all depends on that, really. Maybe about an ounce of cannabis, apparently. So it's sort of, it's borderline, really, of is it personal use? Is it not?
We've got at least 15 bags, all deal bags, ready to go.
Yeah.
How many?
It's probably not.
How many?
15, 16 deal bags, all weighed out.
About 500 quid in here.
Ziploc sealed. So he's going to have to come in. He had 15 bags in his sock. It could come.
Yeah, that's all.
Next stop, the Nick.
We're going to run the car back to St Anne's, do a more thorough search, and then it'll be looking to get Section 18's authorised from the PACE inspector, get his house searched. It's always time is of the essence for stuff like this, because I guarantee he'll have sent a message in the short time it's taken him to pull over. I dare say whoever needs to know that he's been arrested will know already. So we're really up against it for time.
They need to work on the hurry-up. So with the suspect bound for the Nick, Dan and the Sarge make for his home.
Yeah, Zulu 42, you've got Zulu 42 and a Romeo 438 here in involved.
The paperwork's rubber-stamped before they even arrive.
Spoken to the inspector, we've got a search of his home address, which is provided. So we're going to be going to that address to search for any further drugs, drug paraphernalia, cash, mobile phones, anything like that.
We might get lucky. The one with CCTV.
Whoever's watching the detectives answers the door. Eventually.
He's been arrested for an offence for which we need to search the property. We've got power to do that, and I've got some paperwork. Section 18 authority granted by Inspector Mike Ebbins, all the paperwork's there, stipulates our legal powers and why we're here. So we're going to have to come in and search, I'm afraid.
The occupant has a crack at laying down the law.
Evidence pertaining to the offence.
I'm the owner of this house, and I'm sure by law you can't enter without the owner here.
We can do, yeah.
And we will.
We can enter by force if necessary, but I'm hoping to avoid that.
Luckily for his front door, so is this guy.
Thank you.
An expert sweep, and the Interceptors have got what they came for.
So it's just those 4 items, mate, you're right, that we're taking. Right. The phone that you said was yours, obviously in his bedroom, and then there was just some loose cash that was in there as well.
2 phones, which may contain evidence of dealing, some loose cash from the suspect's bedroom, and a wash bag, with no space for a bar of soap.
In one of the bedrooms behind a TV, we've found probably, I would have thought, 8-9 grand, maybe a little bit more. So we've obviously seized that, and the onus will be on them to prove where that's come from.
The Audi driver with the world's priciest wash bag was found guilty of possession with intent to supply cannabis. He got an 18-month suspended prison sentence and 200 hours community service. Cannabis is an everyday problem for the knife crime team.
Is that not the address that's supposed to be dealing in the alleyway?
But they are increasingly dealing with synthetic drugs that mimic cannabis but are far stronger.
So you've got some Mamba in here, yeah?
Yeah. Including a potentially lethal variant called Mamba.
Mamba's a man-made substance. It can be laced with all manner of stuff we're aware of, like rat poison being in Mamba, alloy wheel cleaner. Those substances aren't designed to be ingested by the human body, so again they can have a fatal reaction.
Where do you live, mate? You're local?
Home.
You're homeless here?
Mamba's a blight on some of the most vulnerable members of society.
Take your time, mate.
The people that's making it and selling it, they're not scientists or botanists. These are people that place an incredibly low value on life, and all they want to do is make £5 a bag off the users.
Another one going in.
Tackling the Mamba menace means knowing where to look.
The amount of coming and goings, I think we could get about a 2600 p-waits out of this address.
And Adam and Ken are gathering evidence on a suspected drug den.
I'm going to stick it in as 5 or 6 different intel reports. It needs a whole team to just go in, nick everyone in there, search it properly, and then shut it down straight away.
I see a raid in the future. Meanwhile, in the present...
I mean, the lad who's just gone in on the red bar, with a red jumper on the black bike's on the offside now, so I mean, if I wanted to grab someone and check someone, he's probably an option.
If the suspect cyclist who just left the property is carrying Mamba, it would confirm their suspicions about what's happening inside.
Is he a user? Is he not a user?
I'd say yes.
One way to find out.
He's a definite user.
Yeah, mate, you're all right. We have a chat, is that okay? Yeah, don't ride off then. Yeah, let's ride it off.
Something we said.
We just tried to start one of them and he's done one from us.
The bike's no match for the Astra, but he's giving it a good go.
He's gonna crash.
Ken opts to cut off his escape route on the pavement. That's blown it.
Oh. I think that's the car gone. Hi, man.
The near side tyre isn't the only thing that's gone. The biker's crossed to the wrong side of the road, made contact with an oncoming car, and he's off his wheels and running. So is Adam.
Stop!
Even out of the saddle, he'll take some catching.
Stop there, then.
But Adam has some in the tank.
Stop there, mate.
And their unseated suspect is soon on the seat of his pants.
He's got it. On the floor now.
You got it, Adam?
Stay there.
Just about.
Really worth it for that? Hey, turn over. On your front. Get down, on your front. Hey. Get down!
He's making it harder than it needs to be.
Get down or you'll be tasered. What? Turn over.
But at last, he's in cuffs.
Yeah, got him. Gregory Boulevard opposite Thornley. What you got on you?
I just had that beer.
It's not worth it for a bag of Mamba.
I'm sorry.
Where's the drugs, brother? He's just lobbed it in my face.
Sorry.
Where you got him? Bag of Mamba, he's just... Is it all over a bag of Mamba? Are you even serious?
So sorry.
A few seconds earlier, and you'd have been far sorrier.
As we've got to here, he's taken some out of his pocket. There's a very small amount of mamba left in it, but the more important thing is building the bigger picture and the fact that he's getting served from that address that hopefully we'll be able to do a warrant on. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Let's go over the tack wall. You got him? Oh, I've got him, it's right. Just come and stand here for a second. Is that all you've got?
Well, yeah, mate, I'm sorry.
Just daft, isn't it?
A quick search confirms he's otherwise clean.
Are you well known to us?
Are you alright? I'm sure looking at you, you're alright.
I'm alright. That's why I just said just stop and have a chat with us, and he rode off.
It's a short walk to the wounded Astra for paperwork.
Okay? Calm down now? We're carless. You're alright.
I'm sorry, lads.
It's alright.
Your colleague, yeah? I swear to God, your colleague's so decent.
Mate, we're always going to be decent with you. You know, it's not...
You're not bad.
Not yourself as...
You're just doing a job, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're not bad people.
Ken, just come and chuck the engine on, mate, so I can put the aircon on. It's melting in here.
It's ice cream weather, but as the tender cyclist rides into the sunshine...
Cheers, mate.
Ken has more pressing desserts on his plate.
How can it be cakes?
The fine for curbing a car, cakes all round.
I'll let the sergeant decide.
The Mamba rider who missed a major accident by inches pleaded guilty to possession of Mamba and was fined £40. More importantly, the Interceptors are building an intelligence picture of a local trade on which they are determined to crack down once they're back on the road. What's the verdict on the cake, Sarge?
I think that's got to be cake offence, 100%. Kenny's putting his hand in the bucket.
Still to come.
I haven't done a burglary.
No last orders for light-fingered customers.
Telling you the truth, and like you don't believe me, man. I bet you're £1 million.
Yeah, I think the newer Star Wars films are pretty much just a rehash of the original Star Wars films, but for the modern generation, aren't they?
Not long ago, in a galaxy not so far away, Paul Charlesworth is in the X5 with co-pilot Rich Elliott.
How much could the new order be?
Get cameras on the couple that's just gone down the alleyway. Get cameras on them, they're going down to Market Square.
Last orders are long gone.
We have got a confirmed break of the 3 crowns.
But someone didn't get the message.
One of the pubs in the city centre has been broken into and the alarm's activated, and one of the local cops has just seen a couple, a male and a female, running from the area of it, carrying at least one large bag.
The 3 Crowns is on Upper Parliament Street.
Upper Parliament Street then, driver.
Punch it, Paul.
Sorry about that. Lost them coming out onto the long road.
Rich hates burglars, but loves a pint of Pilsner, so burgling a pub is the ultimate sacrilege.
There's not much to go on, mate. White female, male, white female's wearing a white top, carrying this bag.
The sun's coming up. The creatures of the night have gone to ground.
Hello, they're definitely not going on the street. None of these around Clarkson, the council house either.
So they've gone down here. There, bag.
Jackpot.
White top bag.
Yeah, I've got white female, brown hair, white jacket.
Yeah, that's it.
They pull up alongside the van to say hello.
I haven't done no burglary.
Maybe you might have to go somebody.
I haven't.
If the bag fits,
I haven't done a burglary.
CCTV will be the judge of that. This is the 3 Crowns 10 minutes ago. Bizarrely, a member of the public has found themselves trapped in the pub after last orders and lock-up. Here she is on her phone, presumably looking for help. As luck would have it, a man and a woman are passing by. Clocking the damsel in distress, they guide her to a fire exit, where she slips out and makes tracks. Her hoodie-wearing hero then slips inside and goes behind the bar. He returns a few minutes later with bags full of bottles, before slipping away with his female accomplice. Who looks an awful lot like you, carrying a bag an awful lot like that. That's getting harder to believe.
Because I haven't done anything.
Right.
Who else is
No one.
We're going to find the other one.
Yet.
She's been coming up from that crossroad, so he could have come up here, up to top of here.
Mixed race, blue backpack was
Black bottoms.
A bit like...
Yeah, that's it.
This guy.
Yeah, that'll be him.
You can see the male on camera.
Hey mate, you alright? Whereabouts you just come from?
Just here.
Just here? Okay. Where have you come from previous to that?
My money's on from behind the bar at the Three Crowns.
Letting a woman right out of a pub round here.
Alright. The only reason I've stopped you, there's been a burglary nearby.
Yeah.
And CCTV have seen someone in the area, and it looks a little bit like yourself, mate. So just what we're going to do is put you in cuffs.
Mate.
Yeah, just while we get to the bottom of it all. Just put your hands across like that. One on top of the other, one on top of the other, that's it.
I'm not hesitating, I just let a woman out of the pub round there, like I said to you. She was trapped in the pub.
You let somebody out of the pub, did you?
Yeah, this little white girl.
Okay, what's your name?
Andrew.
You've got anything on you that you shouldn't have, Andrew? Any stolen items, anything like that?
I took up 2 bottles from around the side of the pub.
You took 2 bottles as well, have you?
Yeah.
Right, Andrew, what I'll do then, I'll arrest you on suspicion of burglary.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I burgled the pub, 2 bottles picked up from where they left it round the side.
All right.
No, they'd left it right inside.
In the pub, you know that there was a girl trapped in the pub and I got her out, right? A white girl wearing a white top. Yeah?
Yeah.
You know what I'm on about, right?
Yeah, I know you're on about.
She thanked me for letting her out the pub.
My hero.
If you handcuff me under the cuff, I'll take the bag off, bro. It's not going to come off like that, is it?
Yeah, he's been fine. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't believe me, do you?
No, I don't believe we'd seen.
This white girl, she just got let out the pub. You don't believe me, do you?
Can we pass the name check with signal?
I believe that
She opened the door from inside. That door cannot open any other bro. I showed her how to open the door because she got trapped inside the pub.
All right.
We'll take this arm out first.
The side door.
The one you went in through.
You don't believe me that the girl got trapped in the pub and
Just put your hands behind your back, Chris, Chep.
Running up to me like I was going to do something wrong in the first place.
I thought you were going to run away.
Run away from what? You don't believe me? He's going to find out.
No, I don't believe you. That's why I've arrested you on suspicion of burglary.
When you nick these bottles from inside the pub.
Paul, have you seen that Poundland bag over there?
We're not having a sweepstake for what's in it, are we?
My money's on loads of booze.
From what? I just told her the girl got trapped in the pub and I let her out.
Right.
What, she's giving you a load of booze to say thanks?
Bro, you're taking the mickey out of me, aren't you?
You're doing a fine job of that on your own.
Can I be broke into the pub and I just let a girl outside the pub? A white girl in a white top. If you look back on the camera, you'll see her. She got trapped in the pub, bro. You don't believe me that there was a girl trapped in the pub and I let her out. Yeah, but I don't understand. I just saved somebody from being trapped inside of a pub and now I'm getting arrested for it. Now, that's how life is, isn't it?
Yeah, take a seat, Andrew.
Andrew's not finished.
She was locked in there. I saw that, because I know the fire exit must be on that pub somewhere. So I went round the side, there was a fire exit on that side. Yeah, and she unclipped it.
Andrew, Andrew, save it for the interview, mate.
Telling you the truth and you like you don't believe me, man.
Yeah, I don't think you are.
How much you gonna bet me? How much you gonna bet me? How much? I bet you £1 million.
£1 million then.
All right,
yeah.
I bet you.
Awesome.
The rescuers turned rascals who saved the day, then robbed the pub, had their day in court. They told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, pleading guilty to burglary. They were each ordered to pay £100 compensation. Rich is still waiting for his £1 million.
£1 million? Because you wrong me.
The police interceptors are back next Wednesday at 8. Remember the 2020 Euros? The cops certainly do. Inside the Force 24/7 deal with the aftermath of England versus Germany, new Monday at 9. So did she do it? And can he resist her? It's the story of a femme fatale and a criminal investigator next. Brand new original drama, Deadline.
Oh, police! Come to the door! You come to no harm! Shots fired!
Crime never sleeps. But neither
Police officer with the taser!
do the cops. Battling on the front line
Get on the floor! Get on the floor now!
are Nottinghamshire's finest. Highly trained pursuit drivers.
Oh, God. Vehicle failing to stop.
Specialists in entry and search.
Oh my word. There is multi-kilos of cannabis in here.
Rapid response firearms officers.
Oh, nice! I can see him now! Police officer in now!
And the crime-stopping force
Jesus now!
of the dog unit.
Got it!
Wherever the battle takes them,
On the ground!
they'll never back down.
Taser!
Because cometh the hour,
Yeah, Zulu 2, we're underneath you now, Empa.
cometh the Interceptors.
Put it this way, mate. You level that gun at us, you would have got shot.
Going up. Laid out in the lay-by. Rammed in the back of beyond.
It's in reverse, in reverse.
And chaos in the crosshairs.
Back now! Get them! We've got a duty of care to protect you, and you come charging out here like an idiot. Yeah, because she's the top. You absolute idiot.
It's the early hours, and Coops is a few miles from Britain's longest road.
Anyone on the A1? 3 people have just cut the curtains to the lorry and have run off over a field.
Yeah, receive, we'll go to that.
Curtain siding, when villains slashed the sides of lorries to steal their contents, contributed to a cargo crime wave that cost the UK £95 million in recent years.
Had a call in from, I suspect the lorry driver. His part's been a lay-by on the A1. He's noticed that someone cut the curtain side of his lorry and they've ran off into fields. So it's definitely something we're interested in.
Curtain siders most frequently steal fuel or tobacco, but they're opportunists who'll take what they can get.
Probably pot luck to them, they'll literally try for anything. Delta 5-1, I'm just on the A1 now, travelling northbound.
Coops is a formidable force, a taser-trained advanced driver in a 150-mile-an-hour Skoda, with police dog Rambo in the boot for good measure. And the pair touched down to find the lorry driver waiting for them.
Oh, hello. Hey, jeez. Oh. Hello, you okay?
If you want to see this land, but be careful, I don't know here.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
He suspects the men who slashed his lorry fled through the adjacent field.
What have they got? What do they... Did they take anything?
Look, this half pallet from here,
Peanut oil
and take here.
and more peanut oil. Not exactly the Brinks Matt job.
Cool.
But theft all the same.
If you wait here, I've got a dog.
Okay.
So you... and we're going to go that way. Quite an obvious place where they've gone through that hedge, so we're going to go try and pick a track up.
Rambo straight through the hedge.
Come here, wait.
But there's a lot of field in which to flee.
Track up.
And not a sniff of a scent.
They've not gone through it, have they? Come on.
Looks like the curtain siders may have used a different escape route.
That was 5-1H. There's literally no track in this field where we've we've been pointed to by the lorry driver. They've got nothing.
The trails run cold.
There's no track to pick up of where anyone's been walking at all.
And the curtain-siders have left over £1,000's worth of damage in their wake.
This is going to be expensive to replace as well, and there's more to it than just the product. So they've spilt the oil down there, look, if you can see it. They've put the knife in and cut the oil. But these will be well on the way now, with loads of peanut oil.
This isn't mere monkey business. In 2020, there were 12 cargo thefts every 24 hours.
Delta 5-2 receiving 5-1.
And though the peanut posse have given cops the slip, they may not be the only gang at work tonight.
We have a report of a cloned Mercedes Sprinter van. They reckon it's linked to curtain-sided lorries.
Derbyshire and Leicestershire forces are also looking for the suspect van.
We've got the whole motorway network covered. We're just waiting for it to be sighted now, and then 3 police forces are going to descend.
They're familiar with the MO of gangs like these.
These offenders had numerous jobs on the motorway. Not necessarily always the same people, but we know that in the past they've ran across all lanes of the motorway to avoid capture.
To stop the van safely, nothing's been left to chance.
It would call into highways and maybe get to lower the speed limit down to 40 or 50 miles an hour.
It's a team effort, but that doesn't mean Notts don't want the winning goal.
Derbyshire just picked it up.
Oh, Derbyshire got it. Derbyshire police are behind this vehicle.
And there's someone
1 mile away from us. Should be coming past any minute. There it is. We're on.
The van's gone past, with Derbyshire in its slipstream and Coops coming up fast for Notts.
Delta 5-1, I am behind the marked Derbyshire unit.
Notts unit still let it run all the way to 28.
Highways make their contribution, killing the speed limit. As traffic slows, Derbyshire and Notts drivers prepare to box in the van using tactical pursuit and containment.
Subject is lane 2 and 4.
Coops lets 2 marked cars through.
It's trial services, countdown marker 1 up to lane 3.
But ideally, they need another.
Just confirmed we've only got 3 TPAC vehicles.
Yeah, that confirms vehicle 4, unmarked stock vehicle, not TPAC train.
Vehicle 5, not stock vehicle, not TPAC train.
Before another TPAC train driver can join the stick, the target leaves the motorway.
Let's in the hill, the roundabout, near sideways.
They've had it there.
The suspected curtain-siders may have spotted the marked cars.
Taking the second.
Yeah.
Split road, M1 door.
It's going.
He's back on the motorway.
Any chance to finger ahead to Foxtrot 205?
With his toe down.
Leading 370.
And a stinger isn't an option.
Foxtrot 205, we're going to be struggling for hard cover, I'm afraid.
Highways have dropped the limit to 40, but Van Man's taking no notice.
Speeding 375. Don't want to push it any faster than it's going at the minute.
I think they want the box on it ASAP, so could get very interesting up ahead.
Before the pursuing pack can make its move,
And it's left, coming off, 27, close up.
the van leads them off the motorway again.
He's going. Goes out red, we're on.
A red light turns to green at just the wrong moment. They're convinced now that the driver's trying to escape, and they need a 4th TPAC unit sharpish.
Coming up here? Don't know.
Enter Rob Ely and Ian Coleman.
He was lane 2 a second ago.
The van's heading straight for them. Here he comes. And there he goes. Game on.
4 in the stick now, 4th ARB's joined.
Time to make themselves known.
Mr. Blues, please, mate.
The van's not stopping for Blues.
Gonna go the wrong way down the motorway.
Coops thinks it's making for the exit slip road and potential carnage with oncoming traffic.
Don't let it go. Do not let it go.
A marked car makes a move. Tactical contact, but it spun the van onto the exit slip. Facing motorway traffic. They need to stop him now.
Do him.
Interceptors are knee-deep in a night of curtain-sider thefts from lorries.
They've spilt the oil down there, look, if you can see it. They've put the knife in and cut the oil. But these will be well on the way now.
One gang's given them the slip.
It's going to go the wrong way down the motorway.
But a runaway van may be linked with a second.
Don't let it go. Do not let it go.
After tactical contact, the van's facing M1 traffic and motorway carnage is just a slip road away.
Do him. Front end.
Direct hit, Rob. They're on them like truckers on Yorkies. And Coops and Rambo make sure no one makes a run for it.
Watch your back!
Driver and passenger are in cuffs and none too happy.
No need for that front, doing not wrong, you know what I mean?
Relax, mate. Just relax, you'll be all right, pal, all right. All right.
No need for that front.
What's next, spur?
Relax.
I'm resisting, I am coming out the door, must for you.
Relax yourself, mate. Right.
What at me, bro?
Mate, you shouldn't be stealing, should you? You're a thief, so that's unfortunate. Look after yourself.
So what's in the back of the van, Coops?
What isn't in here? We have got some electric golf carts. Probably a couple of grand a piece. 1, 2, 3, 10 or 12 of them. Russell Hobbs steam cleaners. All brand new in the boxes still. I don't know if over there was going to be playing golf later this morning, but he'll not be walking the fairways today, unfortunately.
But Rob might be walking home.
He was looking to go the wrong way down the M1. It's going to one way, so unfortunately sometimes we've got to sacrifice the vehicle to prevent the pursuit from carrying on because it's got just so dangerous.
The pair stopped by a double tactical contact were not connected with the peanut oil theft earlier in the evening. They are, however, under investigation for theft of a motor and the goods worth thousands of pounds. For driving without a licence, no insurance and dangerous driving, he was banned from driving for 3 years and sentenced to 14 months behind bars. Mercifully, no one was harmed in the incident.
These cops have put their own safety on the line and done a cracking job, and you've got a young boy and the driver moaning because they've been dealt with very bustily when they're potentially just about to go and join the M1 the wrong way. So, as the saying goes, if you play with feathers,
you're gonna get tickled.
Three of you lot know who I am, yeah? And not one of you...
I've never met you before in my life.
Not every incident the Interceptors attend is straightforward.
Stay where you are, all of you stay where you are. Keep your hands where I can see him.
It's vital to get a handle on what's going on quickly.
Yeah, there's no one out on the street at all.
Lee, it's that.
State zero, everyone down here, please.
Especially when firearms are involved.
Do exactly as I say.
this channel.
It's early evening, and the firearms squad are descending on the suburbs at speed and in numbers.
We've just taken 2 telephone calls from 2 independent witnesses that have stated there's been a fight in a suburb of Nottingham called Broxtowe, and that there's been a black male who's been seen to fire, basically bullets, fire a gun to this group as they've been running up the street in Broxtowe.
In the dog van behind, Jen, Else and Quantum are tailing Jim and Dan to the scene.
It's all a bit confusing, but a male has turned up and started firing a gun.
Intel is sketchy and constantly updating.
Down to 2-2 this channel.
One report claims a silver car sped from the scene, potentially containing a firearm.
A silver saloon car is absolutely tabbed in the opposite direction. I didn't get the air end that day.
Silver saloon, is that it?
A silver car's flashed past. But as they pull a Huey, new reports come in of potential suspects in the opposite direction.
Back the way we've come. Defenders are there.
A second group Huey.
Keep going. The information is changing now all the time. It's really happening real quick. All the information is being spun in the control room.
They're chasing intel across the borough.
There's some information to say that there was a silver car that had made off, and that's subsequently now disappeared. But we've had some information to say that the offenders are in an address not far from where the initial calls have come in.
Jim and Dan's X5 and Jen's dog van arrive on scene to find a suspect in the sights of Paul Charlesworth and other firearms cops.
Mate, on police!
He's uncooperative and it's unclear if he's involved.
What's your name?
I'm not telling you my name.
Jim appraises the situation and takes charge.
Listen, mate, listen to me now and do exactly as you're told. Lady, go inside the house. Listen to me. You need to do exactly as you're told now. You need to do exactly as you're told. Oi, get back inside. Fella, Coop, shut him up.
A man's bellowed through a downstairs window and the lad on the drive won't play ball. It's hard to know what's going on and tension's high.
Fella, listen to me. Listen to me. Keep calm and do exactly as you're told. Come forward to me now. Come forward to me now.
No, listen, I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
I haven't got any weapon on me.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah, go on.
I haven't done anything, so I'm not going to comply with you. But I'll come kneel there.
Listen to me. You start doing as I tell you.
No, listen.
Taser and cuffs. Listen to me.
I've got no reason to ask anything.
Start doing as you're told, and you'll come to no harm.
Chaos incoming.
Listen.
Hey! Back up! You back up! Get
back now!
Arriving from behind the car, fresh from the bath, the guy who shouted from the window attacks the suspect and is restrained. Cops grab their chance and wrestle the suspect to the floor.
Don't you again! Get on the floor!
Meanwhile, bath guy
I'm not messing with you, he's in!
claims the man assaulted his daughter earlier.
Right. What the? I'm in the bath!
Can you see what's happening here? Oh, police! Can you see?
Really, mate?
Yeah, really.
Stay there.
I'm not resisting.
Stay there. Right, stay where you are.
You don't know.
No, you listen to me. You stay where you are. Don't struggle, okay?
I told you I've not got a weapon.
Just get some cuffs on.
I'm not resisting.
No, you're not. Relax.
So you don't need to be aggressive.
No, relax then.
This is not America. I'm not going to resist you guys.
Jim's worked up about the man piling into a knife-edge firearms op.
Right in the middle of it, mate. We've got a duty of care to protect you, and you come charging out here like an idiot.
Yeah, because she's just told me what
You absolute idiot. Absolute idiot.
What do you mean, absolute idiot?
It's pandemonium, and to confuse things further, an acquaintance of the suspect on the floor has rolled up.
Listen. Put your hands on your head. Put your hands. Put your hands on your head. Put your hands on your head.
Stay with him. Stay with him.
Stay where you are. No, put your handcuffs for now.
Middle of your back. Middle of your back.
Why am I getting arrested?
We'll tell you in a minute, mate.
There's nothing to suggest the newcomer is involved in either incident, but Dan's taking no chances.
Something's obviously gone off tonight. We'll find out what's going on, yeah?
Find out.
If we find out you're not involved, you'll be out on your way, yeah?
Please do.
Where have you come from?
Oh, just up the road.
I was with him.
You was here with him? Okay.
I'm a bad boy, you know.
Clarity is in short supply, but both men are adamant they weren't involved in the alleged shooting.
Oh no, he didn't have a gun.
Come this way.
He didn't have a gun.
Come this way.
Boss, please.
You make it look 10 times worse yourself.
No, I don't care, because it's domestic.
It's beginning to look like the two suspects in cuffs were not connected with the firearms incident.
Firearms? What you say the firearms? Yo! Firearms? What you say the firearms?
But something's gone down and the cops need to know what.
So as we've turned up, male arguing with the female at this address on the front, and he's been non-cooperative for us.
Yeah.
Then Dad has come out of the address and just started having a pop at him. So we've had to get involved in that and basically detained him, having a bit of a rumble with him.
The men in cuffs are no longer suspected of being involved in the firearms incident, but the one wrestled to the floor is now suspected of an earlier assault.
The information from the very outset was about people shooting at people on the street. We've then got information that the offenders are making off in a silver car as well. So we pass a silver car, so we turn around and go after that. Then the information keeps being drip-fed to us that no, the offenders are at this address, so we then forget that car, prioritise what's happening here. Just unfolded real quick. We've potentially got an armed subject wrestling with a unarmed male on the front of the premise. So we've had to basically get a handle on these people before anybody got hurt.
Nothing was found to connect any of the suspects with the alleged shooting, and no further action was taken against the man who arrived late to the party or the dad who jumped out of the bath into a loaded standoff. The man wrestled to the floor was found guilty of assault. He was ordered to pay £300 costs, a £34 victim surcharge, and was sentenced at 5 months in prison, suspended for a year. Coming up. Hello? The Axeman cometh.
This is quite a nasty looking weapon, some sort of tomahawk.
A pedestrian's nightmare. And how to get a driver's attention.
Tiger! Tiger!
They say a leopard never changes its spots. The knife crime team say a dealer never changes his trade.
Most of the people we stop, search and arrest for drug supply offences, they've normally been caught before, haven't they?
When they do get caught, if they lose a lot of drugs or a lot of cash, those people they're working for will put them in a debt, will debt them up, and they have to work selling the drugs again to pay it off.
Parked up near the city centre, Ken Tinley and Joe Riley have spotted a familiar car.
Yeah, proceed, thank you. Not sure why he's knocking around here, though.
No, exactly.
It's a fair way from its registered address and has triggered their collective spidey sense.
This Golf here is a car we've had before. It's linked to a lad that we've arrested for drug supply, and he had a knife in the back. So he's definitely one that we know.
The Golf is registered to a lad.
Ugh, beautiful.
Nicked just 6 months earlier.
He's been arrested for possession with intent to supply, and we've also uncovered a knife now as well.
They want to be sure he's not up to his old tricks.
How are you doing, buddy? All right?
I'm all right, how are you?
Yeah, my mate behind me think he recognises it.
Ken recognises something else.
Reeks of weed in here, buddy. Got any cannabis in here?
After 9 years on the force, he's learned that if it smells iffy, it usually is.
I can smell cannabis, we'll search it. Anything in the car that shouldn't be?
No.
Right, I'm going to give you a search. Anything's going to hurt me or you?
No, no.
OK. You keeping out of trouble then?
Yeah.
A little bit. Got a bit of weed there, all right. We'll have to deal with that. Doesn't mean you're going to get arrested or anything, assuming there's nothing more in the car.
If there is any more in the car, then the man to find it is Gav.
See what's in those.
The Interceptor is a regular bloodhound who could give a sniffer dog a run for its money.
I think there's something in your car, buddy. You're under arrest, but all right. We obviously found some drugs concealed, mates. Put your hands behind your back.
Multiple bags of weed, enough to potentially charge him for dealing. Again.
Sexy dude.
He's put one bag of cannabis sort of on display in the car, so when cops search it, they'll see it and think, well, it's weed. But then when you look a bit further into it, you can see that it's concealed lead cannabis. Behind the little compartment, almost behind this air vent here.
I knew there was going to be some in there, because you could just tell. Thankfully, we've got Gav on the case, and he'll find it without any shadow of a doubt. So, yeah, he's back in custody again for another drug supply offence, and we'll see what the additional searches bring.
The familiar face is off to the nick. Meanwhile, Ken and Joe are off to his girlfriend's property, where cops know he can usually be found.
He's given an address, which is not the one we're going to. But the one we're going to is where we always see that car parked up. So that's where he's going to be spending his time. The inspector's happy with that rationale and has authorised the search to take place there.
All they have to do is get in.
So there's a key on the same ring with the car key, and that car's always outside that address, so you'd like to think that this key is going to fit that door.
Sure enough, the key fits.
Hello? Hello?
Hiya.
Hello, it's the police.
Hello.
Hello, can we come in a second, have a chat?
He's not here at the minute.
No, exactly. He's with us.
Pardon?
He's with us.
What do you mean?
He's been arrested.
What? Can you not... I don't know. Can you come back, please?
No, we can't, unfortunately. We've got authority to search the address.
Well, can I see your warrant,
okay.
please?
It's not warrant. It's because he's in custody. The Section 18 search warrant.
Warrant because I know my rights.
As he's in custody, they don't need a warrant for a Section 18 search.
Unfortunately, we will be coming in and searching the address, OK?
Right, so can you go and get a warrant first, please? And can
we've got authority from the inspector in custody. We don't need a warrant.
With the woman inside finally accepting the inevitable, they begin the search.
I'll go in the back.
Oh, yes. Bingo.
And it doesn't take long to find something nasty in the bedroom.
I mean, this is quite a nasty looking sort of weapon, some sort of tomahawk.
Followed by a large wedge of cash.
Cash.
And a load more weed.
Some of the cannabis seized from the car was in the same tubs as these. Some of the cannabis seized from the car was in the same packaging as this, which is quite unique. I've not seen this packaging before. But it's clear that he's obviously doing the packaging himself.
The plastic is the kind sealed by heat, and they suspect they've found the source.
So he just puts it on the floor and irons it and managed to burn the carpet sealing the bags.
Yeah.
If you can keep the air away from the cannabis, it will last longer. So clearly what he's been doing is he's been ironing the bag on the carpet, on his bedroom carpet, to seal it, but probably burnt his carpet whilst he's been doing it.
No further action was taken against the suspect arrested in the Gulf regarding the weed in his car, or anything found in Shea carpet burn. He was, however, found guilty for previous offences of possession with intent to supply and possession of a bladed article. He was ordered to pay £149 victim surcharge, forfeited just over £1,800 and was sent to prison for 12 months. It's a dark winter afternoon. Ken's back on patrol, this time with Matt, and they're responding to a shout from fellow interceptors in Radford.
I'll go pale into Birkin then. Colleagues have just been behind a vehicle because the driver's on his phone, and then the next minute he's throwing a carrier bag out the window. The vehicle's made off at speed.
What car is it?
Not sure.
The make of the car being pursued is a mystery.
We're paling.
But But odds are, it's this Fiesta on the pavement. It's a crazy manoeuvre. Ken tries to pin the pavement mounter, but he's away. Ken gets his toe down in pursuit.
Got a vehicle failed to stop Gregory Boulevard. It's a blue Fiesta. Just trying to catch it up. Temporary loss, probably Birkin Avenue towards Craven Road.
It is.
Initial pursuit train, suitable vehicle.
Sightings of the Fiesta are fleeting.
Straight up, straight up.
Being directed Craven Road towards Bobber's Mill.
And try as they might,
Temporary loss, Craven Road towards Bobber's Mill.
Left, I reckon.
they can't quite lock on to the runaway.
We've got no direction of travel on Bobber's Mill.
But anyone prepared to do this? At school home time, in a family area, needs locking up.
Bobber's Mill.
Let's
We've lost it.
That dead end in the Craven.
Luckily, the locals are on the side of the Interceptors.
Members of the public are carrying on, pointing towards that junction. So I think it's gone to ground somewhere. There's a number of dead ends and little alleyways you can pull into.
Sure enough, local knowledge...
There we go. Has that got damage to it?
...has led them to the Fiesta.
We've got it side of the Clock Public House, abandoned.
The driver's lethal pavement dash left its mark, but his seatbelt was primed for a quick decamp and he's long gone.
This car's abandoned right next to a walkway that's going to lead down towards Bobber's Mill, and there'll be a number of left and right routes taking you either back to Craven or that next road down and towards Afton Road.
Just make you aware that we've had a call in from a member of public. They're saying that their vehicle's been damaged.
Johnny and Tom are hunting the roads around the alleyway for the registered keeper of the Fiesta.
I know we said it was linked to a particular individual. Get a photo out.
They now have a photo of him, which fits the description of the driver who mounted the pavement.
What are you thinking? That might be him. That isn't.
And they've spotted him.
Within Bobber's Mill. Up there, mate.
Underestimate the wall. Against the wall now.
Yeah, mate, that's going to be him. I got a good look. We tried pinning it in against the wall, and I don't know how, but he managed to squeeze around the back of Ken. Past us, offside, got a really good look. That's going to be him. They've got him.
Indeed they have. And after they recover the bag apparently tossed from the Fiesta, the driver may face more than driving offences.
So, this is what's been discarded. It looks to be around 4 ounces of cannabis in bulk. So, naturally, I think we'd be leaning towards, is there an element of dealing or supply involved? The cannabis, about 3 or 4 ounces.
It's a good result, unless you own a car parked along the suspect's getaway pavement. But it could have been far worse.
He's mounted the curb and he's driven the full length of this footpath, which obviously fronts straight onto the properties. Anyone stepping outside of their door, it'd have wiped him out. So dangerous, and for what? He's got a bag of drugs in the car with him. Crazy.
The driver who mounted the pavement received no further action for dangerous driving and failing to stop. However, he's currently under investigation for possession with intent to supply Class B drugs and remanded in custody while he awaits trial for unconnected offences. As seen previously, cops face potentially deadly dilemmas on the roads. Cars on the pavement, or facing oncoming motorway traffic, call for split-second decisions. And decision times approaching for Interceptors John and Jules, who were second in the stick after a runaway driver. They decide to pass Lee Frith and their unmarked Volvo takes the lead just as the runaway approaches a Stinger unit.
We'll just put mindful of the Stinger down here. Oh, he's got us.
The Stinger's nibbled the unmarked, but its tyres are intact.
Oscar Tango 87, we'll take course and pursuit. We are Main Street to Stirrup.
The same can't be said for the bad guys.
Near side front tyre is deflating.
After giving them the runaround and refusing to stop, he's running out of rubber and road.
Simple, we're on a narrow track. We're struggling to get past. Stand by.
As Jules and John pull alongside, the driver slams it into reverse.
He's in reverse, in reverse.
He's rammed both cop cars and kept his foot down, so John batons his window.
Taser!
The driver's still trying to reverse.
Taser! Taser! Taser!
But 50,000 volts takes the fight out of him.
Right!
Stop it!
Steering off! Steering off! LH taser has been deployed. Can we have some officer tours, please?
The taser driver's out of action. But the passengers are making things difficult.
Get out, let go of the seatbelt! No!
And things are getting a bit spicy.
Get on the floor! Get on the floor! Get out now!
You're in the back, stay where you are!
Finally, everyone's nicked. And despite crazy driving like this, the only injury is to John for his timely work with the baton.
Oh. Yeah, I just cut my hand on the glass, smashing the window back.
But it's thumbs up for a bloody good result. No further action was taken against any of the passengers in the car that rammed the cops. The taser driver, on the other hand, was charged with driving without insurance or a full licence, dangerous driving and being unfit to drive through cocaine. Having failed to attend court, is now a wanted man. Coming up.
If that's how you're going to drive, then we'll take you off the road for being dangerous.
Phil brings a suspect scrap man down to earth.
You're relying on gravity. Gravity's not your friend at all.
Hey, up. When it comes to sniffing out dodgy drivers, nobody does it better than Phil the Nose Broughton.
Why am I getting a whiff of weed? Be honest with me.
I did have a smoke yesterday.
That car stinks of it. Got any on you?
Phil homes in on everything from Class Bs
right
to BS.
What's your first name?
Ramon.
You know, if you're going to be lying to the police, it turns a minor traffic offence into something more serious.
In short, you can't hide the nose. It's mid-morning.
I don't know if you did that to get away from us, or...
And a scrap van ducking into residential streets has caught Phil's attention.
Scrap man. You might not have a licence.
Only licensed traders can deal in scrap metal.
I'll see what he's up to. Hey, up!
How you doing, all right?
You knew I was going to spin and have a chat, didn't you?
No.
Is your vehicle?
Yeah.
Cool. All licensed up?
Yeah, of course.
When I say licensed, waste carriers?
Yeah, everything.
Cool. Are we out collecting scrap today then?
Yeah. Yeah.
No worries. Okay.
Yeah.
Why was that hanging off the end?
It fell over, that's why I pulled it over to sort it out.
Because it's not strapped in, that's why, isn't it? Have you got your licence and everything on you?
I ain't got it on me.
Right.
He's forgotten to bring his licence.
Have you been in trouble with police before?
I have.
When was the last time?
About 10 years ago now.
All right.
Yeah,
so nothing recent?
No. Try and keep nose clean now.
No worries.
It's the best way.
So we've got insurance?
Yeah.
Right, and you got a full licence?
Yeah.
Cool. No worries.
Great, then you're not breaking any laws, though you might want to consider the laws of physics.
You're relying on gravity. Gravity's not your friend at all. You go over a bump, things bounce around. So unless you want to be up in front of Crown Court because something's gone out the back through someone's windscreen, it's entirely up to you. But if that's how you're going to drive, then we'll take you off the road for being dangerous. So if you get some tarpaulin over it and strap it down, absolutely nothing's going to come out.
I've got some straps.
Yeah. Who are you insured with?
Go compare something. Go compare.
Well, Go Compare's the website, isn't it? Who did you go with?
Is it co-op? Not co-op, please.
I take it you've got all the emails on your phone if need be.
Not phone. Not my phone. I lost it the other day.
Leaving Phil busy doubting everything he says, Scrapman has a go at rearranging his load.
You currently going through court for anything?
Yeah.
What's that for?
For driving.
No worries. Step out for us.
Out of uniform, Phil's a wizard on the PlayStation, but this guy's pushing all the wrong buttons.
I'm just going to point something out to you. If you tell me anything that's misleading or false, can bump a minor road traffic offence into something more serious. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay then, right. So the questions I'm going to ask you is, do you currently hold a full UK driving licence?
Yeah.
Right.
Great.
Are you currently able to drive?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you hold insurance for this vehicle?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So why is it telling me then that Nottingham Magistrates Court have imposed an interim disqualification on you? And that was an interim driving disqualification because you're currently going through court for driving a motor vehicle. All right, aggravated vehicle taking or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why are we driving?
Well, shouldn't we driving?
Well, interim driving disqualification means you're disqualified from driving because you're currently going through the court process. So arguably, how can you have insurance on a vehicle? And not only that, this vehicle isn't insured to you, it's insured to somebody else.
It should be.
No, it's not.
It should be.
Yeah, but it's not, is it?
I don't know, boss.
Well, the thing is,
It should be.
I'm giving you opportunity. You know you shouldn't be driving because you're currently going through court where you've been disqualified.
I didn't know. I didn't know, honestly.
But you know you get
disqualified.
But you know you're going through court for aggravated twat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. So it would have been explained to you on those court hearings through your solicitor and what have you, wouldn't it? Really?
I never got told that I shouldn't be driving. As long as I
Right.
won't be.
No worries. Well, you're not.
Supposed to be driving.
So what's going to happen today is you're going to be issued some paperwork and ultimately you're going to be going to court for no insurance and driving whilst disqualified and breaching your bail conditions for that. Yeah.
How's that keeping your nose clean going?
And this vehicle's been seized today.
Why is it being seized?
Because you ain't got a driving licence and can't drive and it's got no insurance.
It's insured.
It's not insured for your use.
Turns out the van belongs to his mate.
So he's insured to drive it, but you're not.
No, it should have been swapped over.
I'd quit while you're behind, mate.
All right, you've told me that you took out a policy from Go Compare,
Yeah.
all right, and now you're telling me it should have been swapped over.
Yeah, it should have been
Well, why would you been going through Go Compare, getting a policy, if he's swapped his insurance over to you?
No, it's not. It's going to be a different policy.
Okay, no worries. Either way, this vehicle's not going anywhere today.
Jesus.
He won't help you. While the driver attends to his cargo, Phil digs into his outstanding taking without consent and dangerous driving charges, which involve an unknown vehicle.
What's the job then with your dad? What's the job then with your dad?
Job?
Yeah.
My dad?
Yeah, you say you're caught for. What you done? Or what you alleged to have done?
I crashed the tractor. Yeah.
What, deliberately?
No.
All right, why is it dangerous driving then?
I don't know. This is what we're going through in court.
All right. Did your dad get injured then?
No. No one got injured.
Yeah, weird. I take it you're taking some property with you?
Armed with a loaded wheelchair, he rolls off into the afternoon. For previous offences of dangerous driving and taking a tractor without consent, Vanman got an 8-month suspended sentence and a 3-year driving ban. After his run-in with Phil, he was further reported for driving whilst disqualified and driving without valid insurance. If he's any plans for the near future, they should probably be scrapped.
And Police Interceptors returns in 2 weeks after springtime on the farm. A family betrayal could sabotage Brendan Fraser's plan in brand new Professionals on 5 action. And as addiction takes hold, Leanne Best puts everything on the line in our brand new original drama, continuing next, Compulsion, on Channel 5.
Oh, police! Come to the door! You come to no harm! Shots fired!
Crime never sleeps. But neither
Police officer with the taser!
do the cops. Battling on the front line
Get on the floor! Get on the floor now!
are Nottinghamshire's finest. Highly trained pursuit drivers.
Oh God, vehicle failing to stop.
Specialists in entry and search.
Oh my word. There is multi-kilos of cannabis in here.
Rapid response firearms officers.
Up there! Everyone can see him now! Police officer in dog!
And the crime-stopping force
Change that now!
of the dog unit.
Stop it!
Wherever the battle takes them,
On the ground!
they'll never back down.
Taser!
Because cometh the hour,
Yeah, Zulu 2, we're underneath you now, Empa.
cometh the Interceptors.
Put it this way, mate. You level that gun at us, you would have got shot.
Coming up, there's danger in the dark on a cross-country pursuit. A sting in the tail for a teenage troublemaker.
How old are you then? 15, you drip.
My birthday today, man.
And it's double trouble for the dog detectives.
Right, you're better on your ass for suspicion of criminal damage. On the side.
Down.
It's late on a cold, damp evening in Nottinghamshire. As Thursday night bleeds into Friday morning, the Interceptors are out in droves. Ian Coleman and Rob Ely are in the X5, hunting down a youth suspected of car theft on the eastern fringes of the county.
So we've had a report of domestic incident. Ex-partner has turned up at the victim's address. We've had an altercation and he's stolen her Mercedes. Since stealing it, he's made a number of phone calls to the victim, making threats to hurt her, as well as to go to her father's address and assault him as well.
Also en route to hunt down the Merc is dog handler James Coops Coupland. He's burning it up to Newark in the unmarked Skoda when he overtakes a sporty Ford Fiesta. It's not the motor they're after, so Coops pays it no attention. Until, that is, he approaches the next roundabout. And the impatient Fiesta tries to show Coops who's boss. The Fiesta hits the gas, and Coops hits the blues. Whoever he is, this lad is desperate to give Coops the slip. Coops is packing 240 brake horsepower under his bonnet, almost twice that of the little Fiesta. But this hot-headed driver is showing no signs of cooling down. A collision at these speeds could be fatal, so Coops keeps tabs on the runaway from a safe distance. But it's not long before the lad's speedo tips triple figures. The Fiesta's blistering pace, coupled with the wet conditions, makes for a deadly combination. The lad's motives remain a mystery, but he's driving like a joyrider on self-destruct. Coops has kept the Fiesta on ice for more than 7 minutes, but other units are now scrambling to assist. Among them, Rob and Ian.
From Zulu 5, we're doing it parallel on the 46, trying to get ahead of it.
But they're still on the dual carriageway, and because the Fiesta's flying at such a frightening pace, it's a constant game of catch-up. Despite holding back, Coops keeps his sights locked on the target. Until the fool in the Fiesta throws caution to the wind and takes his biggest gamble yet.
He's got lines now.
A runaway Fiesta has been dicing with death on a roller coaster ride through rural Nottinghamshire.
He's got lines now.
Flicking off your lights at north of 70 is about as reckless as it gets, especially on dark country lanes like these. The lad sees sense and pops them back on.
Into links now, they're onto the speed.
After almost 10 miles of relentless pace, the Fiesta has led dog handler Coops across county lines. And the little hatchback is finally showing some battle scars.
The car is found of burning. I think he's taking his toll on it. Speed now 80.
It's not just the stink of burning rubber that's filling the air. Coops has got a whiff of something else too.
Speed 60.
He smells victory.
I think he's more sure of these roads on the assessment. There's no other road it's low risk.
The Fiesta slams on the brakes and appears to be throwing in the towel. Coops cuts him off just to be sure.
KLO surrendered 135.
The good news soon filters through to Rob and Ian.
Oh, Coops, good work. He's got him. He's surrendered.
The boys are just a couple of minutes away.
Confirmed. Come to a natural.
Oscar 1, roger that, good work.
By the time they get there, another unit has also arrived on the scene.
Hey-oh.
And the young tearaway is safely locked up in the back of an X5, leaving cops to speculate on his motives.
What's his beef?
We don't know. It's odd.
Is he drunk?
No, don't think so.
What's more, the lad's licensed and fully insured to drive the Fiesta. Even Coops is baffled.
I went past him, making ground without lights on, and he'd obviously got a bit upset by it, so he's undertook me. So I lit him up, and then he just failed to stop, and I was behind him, doing about 120, I was like, is it failing to stop, or is he just not acknowledging me? He said, I know I did wrong, and that's why I failed to stop.
The driver's been given a drugs wipe, and while they wait for the results, the boys have a sift through the gear in his motor.
I think he's been camping somewhere, or had some sort of outdoor social. There's like bottles of vodka and gin, all his rubbish from that. Camping chairs and stuff.
It turns out the lad's been away celebrating for his birthday, and the festivities continued long into the night.
Yeah, you see he's had cannabis this morning. Yeah, there smells of cannabis in there a little bit.
It's little surprise that his drug wipe comes back positive. But if he'd pulled over when Coops first lit him up, this mess could have been avoided. Instead, he's off to the Nick, leaving Rob to sort out that beaten-up Fiesta.
You know, if there's a lemon to be driven back to the Nick, you can be sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
I'll start it first.
Oh, I hope it does start.
It's got a tyre on each corner.
Let's have a look then. Let's have a go. Oh, God. Purring like a kitten.
A kitten with a chest infection.
Honestly, it was going really fast.
For failing to stop, dangerous driving and failing a drugs wipe, the lad got an 8-month suspended sentence and was banned from driving for 2 years. The original domestic incident that Rob and Ian were due to attend was ultimately dealt with by other officers.
We have got a drug driver off of the road, and just by doing that alone, he very well could have killed somebody tonight. Little Fiesta against a Octavia VRS. There's only going to be one winner. And tonight it's been Coops.
Every year, more than 1,000 drivers report having their car number plates cloned. But cops reckon the true number of victims could be much higher.
Quite a common place now, clone plates. We do deal with people for a whole host of reasons as to why they're doing it. You know, people will steal a car, know that once they've stolen it, it will quite quickly be reported to the police, so they'll put a clone plate on to try and mask its identity, and they'll pick plates up from all over the country. That immediately starts rousing our suspicions as to why this car is in Nottinghamshire when it lives far out of the county.
Some cops, like Phil Broughton, have a highly tuned nose for these things. He's out on a balmy Saturday evening with Special Constable Paul Ford when something catches their eye. A couple of young lads in an old Vauxhall might not ring alarm bells for most of us.
Oh, he's made a left.
But Phil's put 2 and 2 together and come up with trouble.
There he is.
Because Phil's in the unmarked, the Vauxhall driver's got no idea he's being tailed.
That's because I'm going to, hey? Here is a code 2 vehicle check, please. Derby Road, heading towards Hucknall. Is there any insurance on the vehicle?
Yeah, there is. Liverpool Victoria.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, I'm happy it's not going to be in.
The car is insured, but it's registered to an address more than 60 miles away.
Can we just run this by top desk? I don't know, there's just something about it, whether or not we can have preemptors on it. There's a potential it's a clone, yeah.
If anyone can spot a clone, it's veteran cop Phil. He's a highly decorated officer with a hidden talent for chemistry. And Broughton's first law of policing says, always wait for backup.
2-8, work on down Princeton Lane then.
Yeah, 10-4. If you just hold that side, we're just coming to the end of Portland Road. If he goes right, he'll be heading back down that road towards you.
Half a mile up ahead, Lisa DeSantis and Paul Charlesworth are riding to the rescue.
Right, and I'll just hold a minute because he might be coming out in front of us.
They're also in stealth mode, but now they're getting close, Lisa kills the blues and twos.
Yeah, we're the end of Church Lane. We haven't got time to get a stinger out, I don't think. We'll hold here for when you come out then.
Less than a minute later...
Got near side indication.
This is it here.
Back Mansfield Road.
The Vauxhall emerges with Phil on its tail.
Phil on the phone.
And as it passes, Paul spots something that Phil hadn't.
Yeah, just for info, it is at least 3 up. There's a male in the rear offside passenger seat and the front seat passenger is on the phone at the minute.
They look dodgy in there as well, didn't they?
Up ahead, Phil gets ready to make his move.
The plan is once we've got the third vehicle in stick, as soon as we approach a natural slowing feature, we'll attempt to put the 3-car box on.
But the suspect started going round in circles, which suggests he knows he's being hunted.
His hand is on a lane back towards Salmon Lane.
Phil doesn't want to spook the Vauxhall and risk a pursuit, so weighs up his options.
Yeah, Dave, are you in a position to find a suitable stinger location? He will be committing Salmon Lane all the way down.
Another Interceptor is just a mile up ahead.
2-8, we're on Nottingham
And they've got a stinger at the ready.
Yeah, received. I think we've got 3 vehicles in stake now.
With a third cop car now falling in behind, Phil's got all bases covered.
Down Forest Road now, speed is 40. Ooh.
Bullseye.
Bogged on. Ooh.
In the blink of an eye, cops whip out the stinger and the Vauxhall's tyres are swiftly turned to mincemeat.
Vehicle stopped, engines off, no damage.
Considering they'd just been stung and triple boxed.
Drop the phone.
The lads in the motor seem remarkably laid back.
That's the keys.
And so far, they're compliant.
I wasn't going to chase anyway. But...
No, it's all right. Right.
Go on.
You squeeze out of here a sec for us.
I wasn't going to chase anyway. I knew you were going to put me back.
Whose car is it? Whose car is it?
I brought it today, pal.
You brought it today, have you?
It's my birthday today, isn't it? So...
Whereabouts you from?
Kirkby.
Called Kirkby? I don't recognise you.
Yeah, you do. I've seen you before.
No, I don't recognise you.
The lad reckons he bought the Vauxhall as a birthday present to himself, and he only picked it up earlier today.
So I take it no licence, no insurance?
No, I'm not even old enough, pal.
I take it it's not even a genuine vehicle, is it? Have you put fake plates on?
No, I ain't. I brought it with me today.
How much you pay for it?
I didn't know I had fake plates on. What do you mean fake plates?
Yeah.
The driver's denying everything, but his youthful demeanour is arousing suspicion.
What's your date of birth?
Phil does the maths.
2006.
Bloody hell, how old are you then?
Only 15. It's my birthday.
15, you drip.
It's my birthday today, man.
Got no insurance showing on the vehicle.
Funny that.
Meanwhile, Lisa and Paul have had a nosy in the Vauxhall.
You got loads of presents in here.
I know it, yeah.
It seems the lucky lad's been showered with gifts on his big day.
Have you seen how many I've got here? I've spent like 100 and something.
Loads, innit? Spoil that, lad.
His girlfriend in the back fills them in on the list.
I've got chocolate buttons, bath bombs.
Bath bombs?
My little boy got him there.
Is he a bath bomb sort of guy?
He loves his baths.
I'll ask him about that.
Paul will have to join the back of the queue because there's something Phil's got to ask him first.
What you saying?
When was the last time you had some weeds? Because I can smell it.
Yesterday.
Yesterday? What about, he took hotels?
No.
Go on, be truthful. What else you took?
That's a great drug test, mate.
The cocky lads challenge Phil to a drugs test, an invitation Phil happily accepts.
Well, yeah.
Stick your tongue out as far as it'll go.
While they wait for the results, Paul and Lisa are still digging.
What's the genuine reg NH?
And Paul might have stumbled across the clue that cracks the case.
That one. Yeah.
It's the Vauxhall's original plates.
Yeah, they're in the boot.
There's also a small amount of weed in the footwell, which the passenger has admitted is his.
It's typical Saturday night stuff, really. It's a young lad driving a car, uninsured. He's got his mate in the back, he's got his missus in the back. He's out for his birthday. We've ID'd him as a clone car. He's had his car stung. He'll have his car seized off him. So all in all, not the best birthday for him.
And it's about to get a lot worse. The lad was adamant he'd pass a drugs wipe, but to absolutely no one's surprise...
OK, formalities are you've tested positive for cannabis.
Yeah, I know what I mean.
I think we knew you would. So you're under arrest on suspicion of driving this motor vehicle whilst over the specified limit for cannabis. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
And he'll be spending the rest of his birthday at the Nick. His girlfriend's done nothing wrong and is given a lift home in a local cop car.
Right, sorted, yeah?
You even know where I'm going?
The lad's bloods came back positive for cannabis. For drug driving, driving without a licence and insurance, he received a 12-month driving ban and a 9-month conditional discharge. No action was taken for the suspected clone plates. The passenger was cautioned for the cannabis in the car.
He's a 15-year-old lad with a 15-year-old girlfriend in the car. He's a disaster waiting to happen. But I think that's more down to the fact that he just doesn't think of the consequences and doesn't realise of what could happen. Years down the line, when he looks back at it, when he goes for that job application with the criminal record, when he tries to get insurance and has to declare his previous convictions and what have you, then it'll probably dawn on him because he's going to end up having to spend a hell of a lot more money than what he would have done if he'd kept out of trouble.
Still to come.
Wait. Tell him to come to the door. Tell him.
It's Saturday Night Fever for the dog unit.
Get him in the
And a rough morning for some 24-hour party people.
He said he just cracked open a can, he thinks booze, admitted just having drank some.
10 o'clock in the morning, what's wrong with people?
I will knock you out, bro. I'm a kid fight. I'm a kid fight. Elbows.
And mate, just calm yourself down.
I'll elbow your lot's face off.
On the beat, receiving abuse is all part of the daily grind.
All of you, a big Victoria. All of you.
And even when it's raining insults...
I'll pay your wages.
Thank
Why
you.
Are you arresting me?
To an interceptor, it's water off a duck's back.
There's no reason, bro. Go see my friend's mum. Get back! What the are you doing? What are you doing? No! Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
We're dealing with people who are nasty people sometimes. They've got warning signals, they don't like police, and they'll make that known. You can't let it affect you, really. Sometimes it's more difficult than others, depending on what they're saying, what they're doing, but you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, but it is a common thing for us.
Dogs 2-2.
It's Saturday afternoon, and dog handler Jen Else has got the blues on.
Coming across for that dog job.
Reports are coming in of a serious incident at a residential address 2 miles south of Nottingham city centre.
It's basically domestic, where the boyfriend has assaulted the female and stolen her 7-week-old puppy. And he's made off. He doesn't live too far away, so we're going to go straight to his address and see if we can find him.
Canine connoisseur Jen really knows her Shih Tzus from her Chow Chows, but German Shepherd Quantum will always be her #1. No prizes for guessing how she feels about a reported dog theft.
Obviously, I'm a dog lover. They're your best mate, aren't they? They're your pride and joy, and someone takes it away from you. I can just imagine how devastated I'd be.
Unfortunately, Jen's been locked in a losing battle with the rush hour traffic.
22 Amstate 6. What number was it, please?
By the time she gets to the suspect's address, colleagues Gemma and Sam are already there. But there's no answer at the front door. So Jen heads round the back, where someone's keeping watch.
Hello. Hello, mate. Hello.
It's not the pooch they're looking for. And although this one seems friendly enough, Jen can't be too careful.
There's a big dog in the back. I'm just assessing it to see if it's okay for me to go in. You know, if that wants to grab my leg, it'll probably rip it off before I can get it in my pocket. You just don't know how they react once you're in their area, you know what I mean?
Jen doesn't fancy risking a severed leg. So while colleagues keep knocking the front door, she opts for the scenic route.
The telly's on.
Okay, keep banging.
But after a few minutes, there's still no sign of the occupants.
Given that door a hell of a bash in and there's nothing. Well, this side window's like completely open and the front room window's open as well. But I don't know what that's going to be like if I go in the garden. Just be careful, that's a powerful dog, that is. Yeah.
With the backyard well guarded, and still no answer at the front, Jen heads back out to search the streets. 4 hours later, she gets a call.
So we're going back to this address that we went to earlier, because the cops have driven past and he's in the front room on the phone.
Because the suspect is now known to be at the address and is believed to be violent, this time canine cop Quantum's coming too.
Say again. Tell him to come to the door now. Tell him to come to the door. Tell him. Tell him. Don't need one. Don't need one.
A woman inside is refusing to open the door.
Open the door. Open the door. Have you got that window?
But Quantum's got a whiff of something.
Stand still then, stand still. Stand still. Stand still.
Let the dog away. I'm coming.
Yeah. Okay.
My daughter's in bed.
Gemma soon has the man in cuffs and introduces him to the back of the waiting cop car. Meanwhile, another unit has come to help Jen find the missing puppy.
Right, we're interested in another dog that we think may be in the address. Will you let me come in? Will you let me come in? You ain't coming in my house. Right. You ain't coming in my house. Shut up and open your door. Shut up and open your door. Get out. Listen, this is the time. I'll rat you. Open your door. You ain't coming in my... She ain't coming in my house. She ain't coming in my house. No.
Well, we need to get in the house to look for that puppy, and she's obviously trying to disrupt us going in.
Now, cops have clocked a commotion in the Astra.
Get him in the van. Get him in the van. Get him in the van. I know your daughter's in here. You need to calm down. I need you to calm down.
The man was apparently attempting to boot his way out of the motor.
Oh, I'm doing the fine. I'm calming down.
Right, you're further under arrest for suspicion of criminal damage.
Yeah, I didn't give a damn. You just breaking them.
Mate,
watch your head.
Watch your head.
Yeah, I'm calming down. Get him off yourself.
While the man sweats it out in the back of the van, the woman has finally given Jen access to the house. But as soon as she gets inside, the woman gives her a mouthful.
Not going to do anything. Not do anything.
You're about 50. You're about to give yourself an heart attack.
50?
Yeah, you're about
really?
50.
Is that right, is it? Is that right? Is that it?
It'll take more than playground insults to unsettle an interceptor.
I'm going to shut the door because I don't know why this man's just up in my house recording out my house. Dumb little...
She was trying to distract us, wasn't she? And now she's taken everyone's badge number like we've done something wrong when we can go in and search under Section 17 to effect an arrest, and then we can go in and Section 32 for search after we've arrested someone. So she really hasn't got an argument. She don't like the way we do things, but we've got him.
Man's bent it here.
And after the mess he's made of the cop car...
It's not smashed, he's bent the door.
Yeah, Dave.
He's heading straight to the nick. Not a bad evening's work for Jen and Quantum, but with the pup still missing, the result is bittersweet.
I just don't think it's going to be one of those things we can put to bed tonight. So we literally have no idea where it is whatsoever. She certainly isn't going to tell us anything, is she? You should be ashamed of yourself. Go back in. Go on. Go on.
You scumbag. Scumbag. Look at you both, two bitter little old ladies. One's about 50, about to drop dead, and one's about...
Which one's 50 and which one's 40, just so we know?
She's 50, look at her. Your husband probably left you and cheated on you with this nanny, you dumb bitch.
Sadly, the French Bulldog pup was never located. The man is awaiting trial for causing criminal damage to a police car and 2 counts of assault by beating. No action was taken in relation to the suspected stolen puppy or against the woman.
She says I'm 50. Come on, man. I'm not even near that sort of yet.
Each year, more than 12,000 people are convicted for getting high.
What are we trying to hide?
Before getting behind the wheel.
There's a very distinct smell of cannabis coming from your car.
And with some forces now nicking as many drivers for drugs as they are for booze...
It's recorded a positive result for cannabis.
It's clear that this is a menace that's on the rise.
I think it's because they think they can get away with it, but they just don't think they're going to get stopped, so they're prepared to chance it. Or they've got the opinion that it doesn't affect them as much as they think it does, so they're okay to drive. But for us, we've got a lot better ways of detecting it than we did have before. Now we can just do a roadside drugs test and it'll tell us yes or no whether or not they've got it in the system. So I think that has highlighted a lot more drivers who are driving under influence.
Two coppers who've seen more than their fair share of drug drivers are Chantel McDowell and Matt Storer from Mansfield's knife crime team. They've only just begun their Wednesday morning shift when the first call comes in.
No, you want mail, Skillyville, just got 4 cars here, jumped in vehicle, St. Marco Street, towards the bottom.
I think it's a vehicle that's registered to some well-recorded mail. However, I don't believe he's the driver of it.
A motor that's known to police has been spotted west of the town centre. But cops don't reckon the man behind the wheel is the registered owner.
You still see it?
Yes. It's continuing, it's as expected, so natural route's going to be towards Asda.
Asda's just around the corner. If Matt can find his way through the roadworks and the morning traffic, he'll be on the scene in seconds.
What type of vehicle is it?
It's a white Focus, it's heavy traffic, it's coming towards the roundabout.
So it's coming like...
Near Asda now, junction with Archer Street.
Yep. Oh, it might be coming this way.
The Asda's up ahead, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I can see it.
But as the Focus flies past Matt's right ear, the suspects are suddenly at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's a white male driver.
Trying to pull a Yui on a mini roundabout is losing Matt precious time.
Turn it off.
But this eagle-eyed cop clocked the Focus making a sharp left, and when he ducks his unmarked Volvo into the same side street, the two occupants are ready and waiting.
So where are you? Yeah.
So what's the story?
Not me.
Hey.
I'm good on her. We got a bar.
Fuck's sake.
What's me? What have I done?
You put it on your back, chill.
What's
Explain it.
he done? What done, mate?
Don't believe that you're insured at the minute.
Who are you, pal?
Me, I'm the owner of the vehicle, mate.
You're the owner of the vehicle?
Yeah.
Let's put you outside from, pal.
Why? Why am I getting arrested, mate?
You're not being arrested at all. It's been
I'm
detained at the moment.
Why?
Give me a hand.
Can I just lock my coat, mate?
Mate, we'll sort it. Give me a hand.
The passenger says the motor's his and he's not happy about being in cuffs.
Wait.
What's your name, chap?
And neither's the driver.
All right.
Me, man.
It's barely 10 a.m, but Chantel reckons he's had something a bit stronger than milk with his cornflakes.
What?
How much you had?
I just cracked it.
Have you, you smell it, have you got anything on you?
No, I've not got nothing.
He's fessed up to an early morning lager, the cornerstone of every nutritious breakfast.
If you breathalyse me, can you let me go?
Have you got insurance on the car?
No insurance?
No.
Okay.
Now the bloke's admitted to being uninsured. His pockets are clean, but Matt's just spotted something in the Focus.
Chantel, I'm just going to drug wipe him.
When's the last time you had any weed around?
Yesterday.
Alright, how much?
I smoke every day.
What? Oh yeah, alright.
There's bits of cannabis on this thing. It's them to steal back.
He said he smokes every day. He stinks of it.
He freely admits he's a regular puffer, but insists that the only thing that's passed his lips today is the amber nectar. There's only one way to find out for sure.
Then you keep them nice and wide. Nice and wide. Need to get into your cheeks.
Adrenaline junkie Matt's a bit of a winter sports fan, spending all his spare cash on ski trips to the Alps. But on the job, nothing winds him up more than a driver who's gone off-piste.
The seats out.
While Matt gets a sample of saliva, Chantel reports the chap's early morning bender to the boss at HQ.
He said he just cracked open a can, he stinks booze, I admitted just having drank some.
10 o'clock in the morning, what's wrong with people?
I know.
The results of the white will take 8 minutes.
How come you're driving it? It's his car.
I don't know, just ask me.
Meanwhile, the chap who actually owns the car has denied having anything to do with drugs. But Chantel's having another sweep of his motor.
There's what looks like crack in the passenger door pockets of where your lad was sat.
Yeah, simple.
Now this will take some explaining.
What is it, fat or crack?
Well, that's fat, mate. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's fat, mate.
FET is short for amphetamine, the energy-boosting stimulant better known as speed.
When I spoke to you about drugs in the car.
No, that was in the car. That was meant to be at my house.
You said to me earlier.
I know.
It's yours, yeah?
Yeah, what?
Is it
No,
yours?
see, what? Yeah, it's mine.
Yeah,
mate,
right.
yeah. I've just been and bought it for £100, man. And that's what you're giving me. I'm sorry.
At least the chap's full of remorse.
Why are you not driving the car?
Because I've just had a bit.
And apparently Class B drugs.
We'll have to take your car.
Well,
You can get it back later.
Will I be able to get it back
You can
today, yeah?
get it back later, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
So, the passengers had speed for breakfast and his drivers had a beer. Let's hope for their sake the story ends there.
So where it says cocaine, you've got a line on the where it says test line, so that's a fail.
That's a weed.
Yeah, and then on cannabis, there is a very slight one starting to come up. So at this moment in time then, mate, you're under arrest for driving over the prescribed limit.
Turns out he may have had a can, a puff and a sniff all before 10 AM. That's one heck of a full English.
When did you have it?
About 2 minutes ago. That's why it's quite strong. I mean...
What are you driving? Sniffing coke this time in the morning, it's racket.
Drunk driving is bad enough, but for these 24-hour party people, this Wednesday morning's about to get a whole lot worse.
Got a knife in boot.
Although the passenger is a tradesman, this particular blade is a red flag for the cops.
It doesn't corroborate with the tools and stuff. It's not like it's used for work purposes. You can tell that's a work knife because it's got all the plaster and stuff all over it. So that's what's used for work. So he's going to have some questions to answer about why he's carrying the backpack. It looks a little bit sus.
That's for work. It's in my thing. It's for work, for going for insulation, mate. That's for work.
The man's adamant it's part of his toolkit. But when it comes to blades, the Interceptors take no chances.
So he's coming in for possession of drugs and possession of bladed article. Driver's coming in for failing a drugs wipe, so driving whilst over the prescribed limit of drugs. 10:30 in the morning, so what? Stopped the vehicle about 10 o'clock.
Back at Mansfield Nick, the driver received a blood test. It confirmed he had cocaine and a byproduct of cocaine in his system. He was convicted of drug driving and driving without insurance and was banned from driving for a total of 12 months. The passenger was given a caution for possession of amphetamine. No action was taken in relation to the knife.
I think drug driving, we're finding more because we've got more drug swipes available, and I think now it's not sort of socially acceptable to drive an infant of alcohol, but lots of certain young people think it's acceptable to drive an infant of cannabis or cocaine. They don't realise how long it stays in their system for.
Still to come.
Here, bossy.
Interceptors learn the true value of horsepower.
Oh, he's off. He's off.
It's the small hours of a Tuesday. Interceptors Lewis Marshall and Paul Charlesworth are heading south out of the city on their way to rein in yet another runaway.
It's nearly at the middle, I can't
But this is no drug dealer or drink driver. Tonight they're hunting down an altogether more formidable beast.
A bit of a different one. There's a horse wandering around in Clifton. It's just been to McDonald's, I think. And now it's just having a walk around the middle of Clifton for some reason.
Unsurprisingly, wrangling a rampant horse is not covered in an Interceptor's basic training. But on the night shift, the boys are well accustomed to horseplay.
I don't know, I'll see if I've got my carrot sticks with me and see what I can do. They're like grapes.
I've got an apple.
Paul is a self-confessed animal lover, and if money were no object, he'd buy a pad big enough to home hundreds of pets. Sadly, this wannabe Dr. Dolittle is no Frankie Dettori.
I've ridden a horse once. Went badly.
Fortunately, the going tonight is good to firm, and it doesn't take these two thoroughbreds long to intercept their target.
There it is.
It turns out the animal is a Shire horse, and with 2 units already on the scene, the odds should be stacked in the cops' favour.
Where are you taking it, Matt?
No, mate, back towards the 453.
Pulling me, though.
I'll get out and have a walk with him.
Shire horses are native to the Midlands and can weigh as much as 900 kilos.
Is that your shoes or its feet making that noise?
But these powerful beasts can also hit speeds of 35 miles an hour.
Don't get close to it, mate. Well, what's he going to do?
If this one gets back on the main road, it could wreak all sorts of havoc.
Got to catch him up now. I don't even know what we're going to do.
Having grabbed some rope from the X5, Paul's fashioned a makeshift lasso.
Out around its neck, I don't know what's best.
But the suspect's having none of it.
You want to leave this through? What? Wait, hey.
Try and thread that through then.
Yeah, I need to try. It needs to go around his neck.
I know, but I don't...
What these two city slickers lack in ability, they make up for in good humour.
I've had hold of it at one stage that's literally taking me for a walk.
But now the horse has bolted back towards the main road.
There's a couple of articulated lorries flying past.
The three amigos need a new plan and fast. Lewis boots his trusty steed into action, blocking off the traffic at the top of the junction. But on such a major intersection, the traffic is quickly building.
Got one more car travelling. Do you need any more?
Yeah, we need a few really, because it's currently on the A453.
Yeah, if there's any available units, then can you head over to Liston, please?
With several more units dispatched to traffic control, attention turns back to the main event.
I'm just up next to it now, but I haven't got a clue what to do with it.
Just pull left in front of it, see if it'll stop.
Interceptor Matt Thompson has finally got his mitts on the mare, but once again, it's obvious who's in charge. Luckily, the Lone Ranger's back with his makeshift lasso.
Here, bossy.
But Silver's still not playing ball.
I blew round his nose.
Hey.
Fortunately, an expert hand has arrived on scene.
If you know what you're doing, feel free.
Right. Say that, I did the course, but let me know.
Tom has taken a course on horse wrangling and knot tying.
You have some grass.
If anyone here knows a clove hitch from a monkey's fist, it's Tom.
Oh, he's off. He's off. Somebody just come back past and in front of it just to try and deter it walking off down here.
Lewis is an advanced driver with 13 years' experience chasing down bad guys.
Still want it to go that way.
But this is the first time he's been asked to teapack a horse.
Lewis, just try and get in front of it to stop it. What's he doing?
They say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Well, Lewis has just made one take a sharp left off the A453. And it looks like it might have found the rest of its team.
From reaction of other horses, it would appear it's from a field at the junction of Garrett Grove and the A453.
With the horse safely off the main road and traffic once again flowing freely, Tom works his magic.
Let's go, Hey. You need to try and get all that through.
He's fashioned a makeshift head collar and now the horse is secured.
I think if tonight's proved anything, it's that I'm not a cowboy. Nice horse, though.
It's not long before a lady arrives to collect the runaway mare. She's not the owner, but does have experience with the animal, and she can barely believe the trouble it's caused.
Oh, don't do that.
Some horse, that.
She's blind, I think.
The woman claims the horse is blind, which could explain why the poor thing got so lost in the first place. But Paul reckons there may be a simpler explanation.
So it's been Mackey's, it's been to Lidl. I could smell weed on it, honestly. Honestly, I think it's got munchies.
No, thank you.
All right, best of luck. All right, it's all turned out all right, hasn't it, so...
And we're back out with the Police Interceptors new next Wednesday at 8. With epic tales of maritime heroics, we join Rob Bell for a new series of lighthouses building the impossible Friday at 9. In a horrifying case in which the killer has only just been brought to justice, we reveal the mother's story in the murder of Ricky Neve. Brand new next.
Cek lekang je lah, gara-gara pecah perahu. Ini dua ada cek lekang tu lah. Mas. Medan bebek lah. Jawa nah, tadi lah muka orang Jawa nah. Bebek dia. Tentang Medan tu lah Jawa sekira. Orang Jawa tu ke, sama Jawa. Panjang cek lekang je lah. Gara-gara pecah kurang. Itu buah tu cek lekang tu bang. Mas.
Medan Medan lah. Jawa.
Jawa lah. Sedih lah muka orang Jawa lah.
Medan dia.
Kata Medan tu lah Jawa sekira. Orang Jawa tu ke sama Jawa. Cek lekang je lah. Gara-gara pecah kurang. Itu buah tu cek lekang tu bang. Mas.
Medan Medan lah. Jawa.
Jawa lah. Sedih lah muka orang Jawa lah.
Medan dia.
Kata Medan tu lah Jawa sekira. Orang Jawa tu ke sama Jawa.